Rabies.
Hello, everyone. My name is Casey Broadhead, and I am the Dungeon Master for Night Castle Services. I am excited to see you all here today, and we're super excited to get going. Before we kind of just jump in, I'm going to just really quick just kind of go over a couple announcements and also over our recap. First, to go over our announcements, and if you can't hear anything, the audio is weird or anything, let us know in the chat and we will get that fixed. But we're excited to see you guys here. Okay, so first, some quick announcements. This is being made possible by Night Castle Services, so we'd love for you to go check that out and check out the website. And also, if you'd like to play with us, I run a one shot every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That you are welcome to come and be there. It's free to be there. We also have a YouTube channel that this video will be going out on this upcoming Tuesday, as well as some other videos that will come out every Thursday and Saturday. So we are excited to see you guys there, and hopefully you enjoy that. Okay, to quickly jump into some of our... Sorry, had to get rid of my phone. All right, so to jump into our recap, this last time, our heroes, having escaped the fall of Bosham and the resulting explosion after the destruction of a particular life-siphoning crystal, our heroes escaped beneath Bosham, the towering city, into the sewers beneath, finding their way through the sewers after fighting a gelatinous slime and some not quite friendly rats. They made their way into the mines, where, as they went through, our friend Serixer and our friend Frey began to have strange feelings, promptings, what have you, to lead them in a specific direction. Finding their way into a old holy site, now named the Plain Colossus's Grave, they discovered some thing a little bit strange, each of them to their own mind, as after an engagement with a hostile presence seeking to corrupt them, each of them gained something. Serixer, a glaive made of a material he is familiar with, and our friend Frey received a small dragon. This being near the end of our last session, they made their way to a small room that had a teleportation circle with one use left. After using it, they approached a cottage at the edge of a graveyard after appearing on what appeared to be the surface in the don't want to say this wrong, in the Tyari Woods. After which, after going up to the cavern near the graveyard, they met a centaur with the lower half of a goat, or a alpaca, something of that sort, named Imidar. The very nervous individual attempted to be as hospitable as possible, allowing them into his home and to have dinner with him, as well as meeting his friend Tanra, a bestian almost similar to a harpy with reddish feathers that seems to have some magic of a sort. After seeing some mysterious instances related to our friends here, we are going to transition back. Allow me to transition the screen here. All right, and here we... Oh, I actually need to fix one thing. Give me un momento, por favor. Just realized one thing was off. And might as well have it look good than not. There we go. Perfect. All right. Okay, here we go. Transitioning, there we go. Okay, these are our wonderful players. We're excited that you guys are here and can be here with us. And at this point, you are all in the cottage. I believe you all went to sleep, unless one of you didn't. But I believe you all went to sleep. Frey, your passive perception, if I believe, is quite high compared to everybody else's.
17.
Okay, so I need to roll for somebody here real quick to see if they escaped your particular cunning eyes. So
Wait, what was your passive perception, Frey? Sorry?
17.
Oh, wow. Dang, man. Nice.
Okay. So, Frey, waking up to the faint sounds of movement, you open your eyes and notice that stepping from the room appears to be Tanra. She has put on a traveling cloak, put her books in situated as they were, and is currently just trying not to wake anybody up as she kind of gets up to leave. And you also, as you kind of glance around, also notice that Imidar is awake and is kind of where he is against the wall and is like has a hand up waving goodbye to Tanra.
Since I don't technically sleep because I'm elf, would I see this as well?
Let me see. What is your passive perception? I have it here. Yes, you
13 now.
13, you would notice.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just checking.
Yeah.
I'll wave as she's going out.
Do I get the sense that Imidar will tell me where she's going?
That Imidar will tell you?
Yeah.
Make me an insight check on Imidar.
Right.
Tanra does wave back to you, Orestes. She just kind of gives you she waves back and puts her hands up and just kind of gives you a little salute. She walks out. As she does, she 13.
Yes.
He's kind of jumpy, and a little shy, so you're not entirely sure. I mean, he might tell you, but you don't know for sure.
Just wave. I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. She leaves and heads back. Outside the door, both of you would notice, as you're both awake at this point, you can see the very beginnings of light. It's not quite sunrise, but it's quite early morning at the point that is going off. At this point, unless the two of you have something you want to do. Okay. Then at this point, I would say that you would all wake up in the morning. Go ahead, Orestes.
No. I just... No. I decided against it. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. All right. Well, then you have all woken up. Imidar is there. He seems to be happy. He is currently appearing to be cooking something in the fire. The smell that reaches you is a mix of meat and what might be burning hair.
Is it
You can
someone or someone?
in the fire.
Yeah.
Make me a perception check.
Oh no. Okay.
Told you, they're evil.
That's a 21.
21. Okay, in the fire, as you glance in the fire, you can see that sitting on some grates that are put a little bit too close to the fire, are several rats that are currently just like ablaze. And you can tell, like, as you guys get up there, like Imidar's smiling and he turns back, he sees it, he says, "Oh crap, 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 crap." And he like starts like going over, and you see him like reach, like almost like reach for the grill, and then he stops himself, and he's like, "That's not a good idea." And he like goes and he's like, he seems to be trying to find something to get it out of the fire.
I love the smell of burnt fur in the morning.
Raze approves, though.
Could I don't... Would this work if I were to cast Frostbite on them to, like, freeze them and stop the fire?
I think he's trying to eat those.
I mean, I feel like stopping the fire is the more important thing at the moment.
Well, like, it's not like burning the house or anything. He's just put the rats too close, and now the rats are on fire.
Maybe it's like a marshmallow. Like, it tastes good if you rip off like the chart part, you know?
No.
Yeah, just rip off the skin,
What's
you know.
wrong with
the huge.
you?
Yeah.
What is
Casey?
wrong with you?
How pungent is the smell of burning hair?
Not crazy. You're fairly certain that he thought he had fully cleaned them off, like skinned them or something, and just had missed a bit. Yeah, so he just seems a little bit like he eventually comes back and he's like kind of like toddling with his like on his kind of like basically bed that he's resting on, kind of a thing. Comes like trundling back and he's got what appear to be like hand knitted like little mittens, and he kind of like looks at it and he looks at the mittens and he looks at the fire. He's like, and then he just reaches in and he like grabs the grill out and like chucks it out the door. Like you see, he's like open the door, he checks out the door, and like both the rats and the grill just go like out in the snow.
Oh no.
So Caven, your mic is muted, so I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh, I forgot to mute it. Sorry, I'm sleeping right outside the door.
Oh yeah, so you are sleeping right outside the door. Yeah, that's true. So you wake up to getting hit in the face with a burning pan, like a burning grill,
geez.
and 2 flaming rats.
Well, I'm going to immediately assume that we are under attack.
Perfect.
I'm going to try to stand up, but I'm in a snow fort, so that's not going to work very well, and I'm going to hit my head.
Yes. So you stand up, your head breaks through the snow fort. So you're kind of headed, like you guys see outside the window, all that you can see is Umbron's head sticking out there. And like the grill basically just burned through the side of the snow fort, as did the rats onto him. And
I
so
would
yeah,
like
now
to-
Umbron's. Yeah, go
Can
ahead.
I go help him get out of the snow fort and then help him heal his burn wounds now?
Sure. Yeah, you walk out. It's not doesn't take too much, and you just kind of extricate Umbron, and yeah, like you basically seems all right.
I would like
Those poor
to
bird.
past them and go to one of the coniferous trees around and gather some needles from them.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're talking about coniferous trees, not carnivorous trees?
Coniferous or coniferous, yep.
Can I insight
Okay.
the trees to see if any of them are carnivorous? Because now I'm
Sure,
worried.
make me a nature check.
Now
Ah.
I'm worried about it.
I have like a -1 in that, I think.
Better than me.
Yep. 2.
Okay. Looking around, the trees don't seem carnivorous, but you are in a graveyard.
They could be haunted instead of carnivorous.
All
No,
of
they're
the
eating
keep
the
that
graveyard,
in the
bodies.
back of my
all of
mind.
the gravestones, all of the gravestones say died by a tree.
Was
We
smashed
don't know
by
how
a
this
tree.
keeps happening.
Yikes. Okay, so as you guys are kind of glancing around, starting up your day, is there anything that you guys would like to do at this moment?
I'd like to go up to our kind host, and I'd be like, "Is there anything I could do for you, or perhaps our party could do for you, as a show of thanks for tonight or last night, not tonight?"
I guess that I guess that what you could do is you guys are headed to Thedon, I believe.
Is that the closest town?
Yeah, it's about a day's walk in that direction, and he points directly to the west. Actually, I think it was
So
the east side.
yes, probably. I believe so.
Oh, okay. If you're headed that way, would you please take this? And you watch as he hands you. It appears to be a. It's kind of looks just almost like a very small picnic basket. But there's a sheet of paper that's been attached to the top, and a wax seal has been placed on it that seems to be the symbol of kind of a grasping hand. And he says, if you would if you would please just deliver this to the Harpy's Hideaway, that would be great.
A Harpy's Hideaway. What is that? If you don't mind me asking. Is that a tavern?
No, it's the alchemist shop in town.
Oh, okay. So I take it that these are probably alchemist supplies. I'm sorry, I don't mean to pry, but
Yeah,
just
you're
curious.
welcome. You're welcome to open them. I wouldn't suggest sniffing them. They're
Right.
powerful.
Alchemists tend to work with some stinky stuff.
Is that where she works?
Who works?
Tyra?
Camera?
Are you talking
Sorry,
about Tanra?
Tamra.
Yeah.
My character's not very good with names.
That's yes, that's her shop. The Harpy's Hideaway.
Oh, so that's where she was going off to so early in the morning. That makes
Yes.
sense.
She can make the flight before the day has started. But for you, I assume that you guys will take about a day to walk there, unless you have a quicker means of travel. I don't have any horses to provide or anything.
I do not know. But thank you. Or yes. Is
course.
there anything else that you'd like us to do before we leave, perhaps?
I mean, it would be helpful for one of you to out around the side of the house. It should be a stack of firewood. If one of you would bring that in, that would be great.
I'm doing it. I am doing it. I want to
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
I can't lift.
But she's on the job.
Okay. So, Raze, you
You
step
need
outside. Yeah. So, Raze, as you step outside, you do go around the side. There's a small like place for firewood. And you can see that there right there. There seems to be like maybe 2 splinters of logs that are sitting there.
Okay, I'll go like chop a tree down then.
Okay. Make me.
Retreat.
Yeah.
Battle axe to the tree.
Yeah, just make me a survival check.
Okay.
I mean, at least she has the weapon for it.
Oh yeah, at least she
That's
has
a
an axe.
14.
Hopefully this
14?
isn't one of those carnivorous
Okay.
trees.
So you chop down a tree. The tree falls down. Roll me an athletics check just to see how quickly you do this.
Okay.
It screams the entire way down.
This is gonna
That's
be pretty
10.
loud, isn't it?
What'd you say there?
A 10.
A 10? Okay. So you all hear the as this tree just like falls fairly close to the graveyard. It like almost lands on some of the headstones.
What was
And then-
that?
Desecrate them.
And then you guys like walk out as Ray's like ferociously just like whacking away at this tree. I don't think Ray's has ever cut down a tree before.
No.
Grace,
So-
wasn't there wood on the side of the house? Why did you
There was
cut down
so
your
much.
tree?
I had to get more.
Wait, is this is this tree dead, or is it like?
Oh no, it's
really-
a fully alive tree. Oh yeah, it's fully alive.
No.
I'm gonna be like, Raze, this isn't going to burn. Not very well, at least. But we might as well chop it up, I guess.
Imidar's just kind of like looking out the door. He says, "It'll dry. No problem."
Anyone know create or
And
destroy
he
water?
like sees you chopping at it, and he just says, have any of you ever chopped a tree before?
I have not.
Thank you.
Oh.
If you, Frey, would chop that, I would prefer to have logs to put in the fire and not just splinters.
Right,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Raise gently. Hand over the axe.
Is there a different axe around?
Yeah, there is actually like a woodcutter's axe, like sitting to the side.
I'm gonna
of the house.
grab that and give that to him.
Okay.
Successful. No, successful.
Don't try whatever you're thinking about, Landon.
Using the
Landon?
dagger on the tree?
Use the dagger on the tree, please.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's
Wait,
There could be the smallest chance that it cuts it and dries it into perfectly good firewood. There's
No.
that slight chance.
Nothing on the table
Also-
does that.
Also,
I will have you know that there is no way Frey knows what the dagger does.
there's also
no
That's
a
way.
also
chance
that's true. But also, why would you try to cut a tree
Wait.
down with a dagger?
we.
Yeah, that is the more
It's
accurate
intelligent.
question.
not gonna say
Imagine
anymore.
he's
Did
like, hey, does anyone
anybody-
chop trees here? And you say, yeah, and then you start cutting it with a dagger. Like, what?
I am going to chop the tree with the woodcutter's axe.
Okay. Since you've done this before, I'll say it takes you a little bit, but yeah, you cut it up. Luckily for you, Rays did not cut down one of the several 100-foot trees, and just one of the shorter trees.
I feel like I might have done that on purpose.
But yeah, like it was close to one of the big trees. She just didn't cut it down for you.
You know, just a short tree for a short person.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right.
What you gonna do? You get to my waist. What you gonna do?
Chuck,
Just
Carry
just
the wood
wait
outside.
until she breaks her
she's
leg.
gonna battle axe your kneecap.
Fine.
She may be
Right.
short, but she
Right.
has big
I
dreams.
can't carry it.
I'll just laugh and start bringing some of the wood to the firewood.
Wait, are you small sized or medium sized?
I think I'm medium.
Oh, okay. I cannot
On the
build a
smaller
cage
side
around
of
you.
medium, I think.
Interesting.
Okay.
I
So-
would also like to take a cup out of my mess kit, fill it with snow, put it next to the fire, pour some needles in it, and then have a nice cup of pine needle tea.
Okay, sure. You do so.
This guy.
Do
you even
you
taste
drink the pine needles?
Uh-oh.
Just
I
this
feel
is
like-
just a
I feel
clarification
like he
question.
would. I feel like
Okay.
like that's what he does. Is like he has the tea, and then like there's a snack in the cup for him.
Yeah, I honestly
Yeah.
don't think you even hurt yourself. Your mouth is so tough. You're just like just crunch it all down.
I could have ground that down into paste for you, but
Paste is a weird
horrifying.
texture for pine needles.
but it dissolves better in the water.
Ah. You should do that before I drink it.
Well,
That's probably the plan. Okay. How long will it take us to clean this tree up?
Well, most of like I'm gonna say that over the course of doing this, that you guys probably just kind of move some of the like branches aside and everything. So I'll say that by the time you finish this, it's probably like 9 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What a war
Ramus.
I'd like to say that Ramus is probably a deeper sleeper. A deeper.
Mm.
I don't like how that sounds, but I think that was correct.
That is correct.
He sleeps pretty deeply, so he probably didn't even wake up until the tree fell.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has enough experience to go help chop down the tree. So is Imidar also staying inside?
So Imidar has gone outside, and you can see that he's like slowly brushing like snow off of the flowers, and just kind of moving snow away. And he's also he's pulled out like a small, almost like it's translucent, but it's like a faintly red stone that he's kind of holding up and to around the area, and you can see it's heating up the plants as he walks around.
Could I go talk to him?
Sure. Yeah, he's there.
All right, I want to go up to him, just like, oh, what's that?
This is just a heat stone.
Where'd you get it?
I bought it. And he like holds his hand out towards you. And you watch as like he's holding up his hand rather than like just opening his hand and handing it to you. You watch as he brings his other hand and kind of twists around the rock, and then he offers it to you.
Oh, does it feel warm to the touch when I grab it?
No.
No? So you just twist it and then it starts heating up? Is that how this works?
Go ahead and try.
Yeah, I wanna try exactly what he did.
Okay. You twist it. You twist it in the same direction. Nothing happens.
Can I twist it in the other direction?
Yeah, you do so, and you feel heat come off. It does, like, you can feel the heat, but it doesn't hurt your hand that's on it.
Huh, that's really interesting. I want to turn it off and put it in my bag.
Okay. You put it in your bag, and Ymir is like, oh, okay. And he just kind of like
That's really cool.
glances at you, and then he keeps going about like brushing the snow off of like the plants, but he's just kind of looking at you the whole time.
Does
I
anyone
would like
see
to
this?
offer to compensate him for that.
Do any of us see this happen?
I mean, who wouldn't be helping with the tree?
I was
I
helping.
probably cannot because I do not have high strength.
I
Okay,
can
then
move
you
the
two would have
twigs.
noticed. Yeah.
And
I would like to.
as soon as I saw Ramus go up to him, I was like, he's going to steal something. I should probably
Yeah.
help with
Okay, yeah,
that
you're
situation.
there. Yeah, you're there. He says,
Give the goat man back his stone.
for the heat stone, you want to reimburse me for the heat stone?
Yes, because our companion here just stole it from you.
Yes. He did. He kind of looks at you and he says, it'd be 1 gold.
Okay, I'll give him 2.
Okay. All right.
Did you grow these yourself?
The
heat
stones.
stone?
No, the flowers.
Yes, I grew the flowers.
Do not
Which
pick
one's
them.
your favorite?
Which one's my favorite flower?
Mm-hmm.
He points inside, and you can see that there's one that's like sitting in a really dark part of the room, farthest from the hearth, and it's glowing. The like edges of each of the petals are glowing, like it's a black petaled plant, but the edges are glowing like this vibrant light purple.
I'd like to make sure that Ramus does not go pick that flower or any of them.
Okay.
What kind of flower is it? Like, where does it grow?
Grows here, Ramus.
It's, well, technically yes, but it's originally from Manzay.
Oh, that's quite far.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Where did your friend go?
Oh, were you still asleep when we established that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just woke up and she was gone.
She went to town. She's a shopkeeper in town.
Ah, dang.
We need
Sorry,
to invest
I'm
in an
like-
alarm clock.
My brain's not working very well right now.
You're fine.
Running out of things to say.
While this is happening, can I go sit next to Frey and just ask him, is there enough for me to have some of that tea?
I can make more real quick.
He did just
Oh,
eat
no.
the whole, like, everything
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
It made like a single cup of
I'll rush to make
pine
more.
soup.
Okay.
Essentially.
I'll have Sayxer do the thing that Sayxer said he was gonna do.
Frey can't
yeah.
even remember.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how you said it, too. Sarah, do the thing you were going to do. Like, come on.
Tell me what
Yeah,
do what
yeah,
you told me you would do.
Yeah.
I'll make it even better than how I made it, because we'll add magic.
That
Oh,
seems
no.
very nice, but thank you for making me a cup.
Magic.
Did you learn how to make this somewhere specific, or?
Camping.
Okay.
I got thirsty one time.
Okay.
So,
Okay. He's just gonna like sit there because this is getting awkward. Just wait for the tea.
Sorry, Frey is not one for small talk.
no, he's
Okay.
very much.
Umbra.
I'm also gonna make a smaller cup for Viana if Viana wants to.
Okay, sure. Umberon, Imidar does lean over to you after, like, kind of Ramus is kind of seems lost in thought for a second. He kind of leans over and he says, since you're going on this journey anyway, and I do not think you do have any, If you're in an area that you're afraid of starting a fire, I would suggest using the heat stone. If when you have it, you can take it, and if you hold it and almost act like you're breaking it, it will give off as much heat as a campfire.
Well, thank
did
you. I'll
come
keep
up
that in
with more
mind.
questions.
Of course. Yeah. What was your question, Amos?
All right. I saw she had a book with her. Does she study magic? I saw her cast a spell.
Yes. Yeah. She's studied magic since she was a little girl.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've met someone else who studies. What kind of magic does she? What kind of magic does she do?
She studies quite a few different types. Her most regular is it's quite new to Mindani.
Ooh, magic?
She studies hydro arcane magic.
Oh. Damn it. That wasn't Ramus. Just I knew it. Just like, oh, I've read about that one just a little bit, but like I haven't been able to figure that out. What store does she work at?
You the Harpy's Hideaway.
Umbron, can we go there?
Sure, I believe we need to go there anyway.
Yes. All right, thank you. He walks away.
I like to imagine that during this whole thing, like Orestes like has been helping with the tree, but the whole time like still holding like the picnic basket, like the whole time.
No, I probably did set it down inside, but yeah, that
Yeah.
is a pretty
Not
funny
behind the
image. I'm going on a
Okay.
picnic, okay?
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys would like to do here?
Don't think so. Not me at least.
Can I just go up to him and just thank him for the sleeping aid?
Yeah. You're welcome. I wasn't. It's just something I make every night. Do you have nightmares a lot?
Yes. A lot more than I'd like to admit.
Okay. Give me a moment. And he kind of goes inside, and about a minute later, he comes back out as you guys are kind of preparing, getting your packs on, everything like that. And he hands you like a small slip of paper, and inside is written the ingredients and how to make it.
Okay. I'd like to thank him for that.
Yeah. Of course. Just so you know, the Tanalac root, and he points to one of the ingredients, and he says, most apothecaries should have that, but I will warn you that it's a little expensive.
That's no problem. Is there anything I can leave with you? Money, anything for our stay?
I'll be fine. I don't require much.
Okay. Thank you for your hospitality.
I will ask in just these particular times if you see any of the nearby the brewings of the war are getting closer. Just kind of dissuading any soldiers you meet from coming this way would be wonderful. Thank you.
Of course I will.
Thank you. And he just kind of goes back inside, and he just kind of waves to you guys as you guys are kind of headed out.
I'll thank him once again as I head out. Thank you.
Of course.
Your hospitality is very much appreciated, especially the bath as well. Like, whew, that was a stinky place we were in.
Nothing like a good bath. Hopefully you can find some soap next time.
Sorry.
Yes.
Did everyone take a bath, or was it just Orestes?
I think most people
I
did.
did.
think
Against
I-
my will, but I did get a gold button for it.
I
Yeah,
never
and you
did.
also got scrubbed.
Did anyone force me to take a bath?
Probably
I
not.
don't think so. We forced Ramus. Well,
We did
some
force
of
Ram.
us. Some of us forced Ramus.
I don't think it would be in my habits.
Okay, then you did not take a bath.
I am just gross.
At least
Okay.
I used prestidigitation on you, so you're okay.
Okay.
You're passable.
Okay.
um,
Will we set off?
yes, we shall set off. Actually, before we leave, I'm gonna be like, is there anything that you would recommend we try and stay clear of in this forest? Perhaps.
Um, the most I can suggest is I'd stay clear of any specifically something that looks too good to be true. That's basically all I can
Right.
say.
Okay.
There
Thank
have been,
you again.
of course, they've just been known to be bandits, so I would be careful.
Right. Stinking bandits. Okay. Well,
Okay,
maybe some other time we'll meet. But for now, we shall part.
of course,
Thanks
Um,
again, Goat Man.
of course. Safe travels. And he kind of like closes the door awkwardly, kind of like looking at Frey.
He
What
is a
was his
goat
name
man.
again?
Imidar.
Imidar.
Imidar. Oh, that's a long name.
It's,
Because
I find
it is 3 syllables. Do you know
I
what
guess-
syllables are?
I thought it was 2.
Uh, yeah,
Yikes.
okay.
I've spent the past year with this person.
And you
That
have
you
managed to
did.
survive thus far.
Yeah,
How
yes.
did you manage to learn your
And
name?
I'm only his
He
drinking buddy.
hasn't. If you haven't heard, I have a nickname for him, and it's just X.
This is my buddy X. He's my ex. Wait.
I sure hope he's
Question,
not your
who here
ex.
is the most intelligent? Who in the party?
Is the
Did you
most
say most or
intelligent?
least?
Yes.
Not me.
Oh,
So
I think it would be Evangeline
Happens.
besides you, Ramus.
obviously it's Frey.
Me.
Obvious.
Obviously. Of
Right.
course.
we're not going by golf rules.
Oh, dang it.
Just checking.
What's golf?
I was about to say, Frey doesn't know what a syllable is, but he knows all about golf.
Golf.
He's
is
got
the
a
most
-2
boring
par.
sport.
Is there golf in this world? Do we have golf tournaments?
I sure hope so. No, maybe not.
We'll
We
invent
must
it.
invent each sport.
Yes.
It's not.
No, Casey seems currently indisposed.
Mhm.
Well,
So Ramus walks over to Evangeline
Mhm.
and he's just like, hey, miss, I hate to bother you, but do you know stuff about magic?
A little bit. I just recently got into that.
Okay. So I've been working on a little bit of a spell
Oh
recently.
no.
I'm working on a formula, and I'm not 100% sure if I got it right, but I'm pretty sure it should be good. It's just a divination spell, and could I possibly use it on you just to check to see if I got it right?
What would it do?
If my calculations are correct, he pulls out his book and starts like flipping through it. It should allow me to get a peek of what goes on inside other people's heads.
Oh.
If you would like to,
I can't hear you very well.
yes, if you'd like to.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't expect that to work. Okay. He digs through his bag to pull out a copper wire, and
Oh, no.
he casts the ritual, or not ritual. He casts the incantation, and he uses detect thoughts on you.
Okay.
So, what are the first current thoughts going through her head right now?
Thoughts specifically? Like,
Or
do I
like
word them,
surface
or is
thoughts
it like
for now, but I
emotions?
might try to go
Surface
deeper.
thoughts. Yeah,
Surface
so
thoughts.
like essentially just what you're thinking in the moment.
Yeah, like why is Ramus trying to use me as a test subject? Those kind of things.
She'd probably be thinking that Ramos was kind of like cute. Like he's just sweet, like a little kid.
Aw, thank you.
Mhm.
I think he will try to go deeper though. So I think that's wisdom or intelligence. Which one is? I think it's wisdom. A
think
wisdom, please?
yes, I do
Wisdom
believe it's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
That is a 7. I don't think that passes, right?
That
Oh
does not
no.
boy.
pass, and so I do
This
get to go
might get
deeper.
interesting.
Right. So what do I explain then?
Okay. Let me look up the actual spell because I don't have it right now. Detect.
Deeper thoughts.
Yeah, I do know that one of them is something that weighs heavily on your mind at this moment.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I just dive deeper into your thought. Let me
Okay.
see.
Insight into reasoning, emotional state, or something that looms large in the mind.
So something you can choose whatever I find.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if it would.
because
Oh yeah, go ahead.
because Ramus is not asking you like a question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Ramus is
It's not.
just figuring out what this spell does.
It'd be pretty much anything that you are like constantly thinking about.
Okay. I think I'm not sure if it would be like a thought, but more like emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So it would probably just be like a very deep, like heart-wrenching agony, like as in sorrow.
Ah.
So you get to feel that now.
I don't think Ramus likes that feeling very much. So
Does
he kind of pulls out. He just pulls away after feeling that. He's just like, "Oh, are you okay?"
did I notice, like, does the spell say that I
Yeah,
would
you
tell
You
definitely don't
you
know.
know that you were
that he
broke
went
deeper.
Okay. Um, I would just kind of like smile. Well, you can't really tell I'm smiling because um, but she would just be like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm okay. I'm sorry about
Eventually,
that."
it's like,
that didn't feel
feel
very
my
good.
pain.
Oh,
Is that normal for people to feel?
not usually, but for me, it's rather normal.
What happened?
Um, it's something I would rather not explain deeply at the moment. Just a very close loss.
Well, I'm sorry. You want a hug?
No, I'm all right.
All right. Here, have your button back. Maybe that'll help you feel better.
No, that's all right. That would be good for you.
Anyone want to help me gather all of the pine needles off the tree that we chopped down?
I mean, I can do that. I've got pouches to hold the pine needles.
I'm gonna
Sweet.
give
I
Ramus
have.
a hug.
What?
I'm gonna give Ramus a hug because
Aw.
I just
He's
feel
really
like
soft to hug,
he wouldn't take
especially
rejection
after
very
dinner.
well.
I have an herbalism kit which gives me a bunch of pouches to store herbs.
How many pouches?
Needle tea
It
for
it just says pouches. It says an herbalism kit includes pouches to store herbs, clippers and leather gloves for collecting plants, a mortar and pestle, and several glass jars.
Oh wow! So you're gonna have glass jars, and like all of those will be full of pine needles, right?
At the moment, yeah, they will be emptied if I need them for other things, though.
Even though
each pouch.
I mean, they probably already have pine needles in them. Let's be
Wow.
Each
real.
pouch. Yeah, we can hold up to 6 pounds of pine needles in each
Gosh.
pouch.
In each pouch.
I'll
Okay,
carry those pouches for you.
yeah, I don't think I can hold that many pounds of. But I don't know how many pouches it has. It just says pouches, which could mean 2, it could mean 5.
Should we shut down? Not shut down. Should we cut down a bigger tree?
No.
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 I
Why
think
not?
one murder is okay.
Murder.
You
We're
kill
supposed to
a
be going
living
on our way
tree.
by now. We shouldn't be cutting
But
down
it's
another tree.
I mean,
We
I'm
can't
assuming we're
impose on
walking.
him any further.
a tree.
Yeah, I'd like to go to that Harpy's hideaway place.
Yes,
Is
we
that
have
where we're
we have to
headed?
drop some. I mean, never mind. We have to go say hi to her. Don't we?
Mm-hmm.
As Erasmus is gonna kind of tuck away the box out of your sight.
Don't you have to deliver something to her?
No. We should be. He's gonna scoot over to you. Shh. She has that sheep man has sticky fingers. Be careful.
He took a
Does
bath.
not even mean.
I
Took a
love
bath
them.
last night. His fingers aren't. They shouldn't be sticky.
Metaphorically.
Oh.
I love him. He's a great person, but ooh, I don't know if I can trust him around the bag. We don't want
Okay.
him
I thought you were gonna
accidentally
say,
eating
I
or
love
stealing
sticky
something.
fingers.
Don't want him smelling the herbs in the box.
Is
Definitely.
everything okay? Lauren?
Right.
Yeah, he just got a bloody nose. He's just dealing with it.
I figured. I saw him leaving with a tissue. Ooh.
I just got the back of him.
All
leaving.
right. How many
That's all I
pounds
got.
of pine needles do you think one tree holds?
A lot.
One tree?
One
One
tree?
Is this an in-game discussion or
Way
is this
too
a
many.
random
Big tree, right?
discussion?
Probably upwards of 20 pounds. Well, let's see. Let's Google it.
Much more than that.
They
Much
have
more.
so
How
much
many
tea.
pine needles don't weigh that much, though? That's what I'm saying.
But the
That's true.
sheer
There are a
amount.
lot of pine needles on tree.
I'm gonna say this is in-game conversation, and
It
Lena's
is.
just like, "What is happening?"
We don't need that many pine needles, do we? We can always get
Yeah, we
more.
do.
I'm just gonna stuff the pouch until it's full.
I mean,
Okay,
what else
that's
are the
fair.
pine needles
That's
gonna
fair.
do? Just sit here on the ground?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're cleaning up
Uh,
Raisin's mess.
Interesting fact, my friends. There are exactly 160,043 needles on every pine tree.
And how much
On
does
every-
a pine
on
needle weigh?
every one?
How much does a pine needle weigh?
And then do the math.
I'm so
Uh,
The
confused
question
why.
is, do any of our characters know this?
I'm just stuffing it till it's full.
Well, the thing is he's trying to fill me full of my pouches full of pine needles.
But why? Why do we need so
I-
many pine needles?
Because
Don't you want more pine
Frey
needle tea?
wants more pine needle tea.
Well, there's pine trees almost everywhere we go
There are
in
so
this
many
neighborhood.
other
Well,
plants we could be
needles are
picking
going
from
to
to make other
waste.
flavors of tea.
All these needles are going to waste,
But
though.
you guys won't let me
But
pick
it
any of them.
the ground and then grows more trees. So it's worse to keep them in your pack so they can grow more trees.
Pine needles aren't the seeds of pine trees. Pine
They
cones
aren't,
are.
but they help.
Pine needles just photosynthesize. They're not
Exactly.
part of the
No, but
reproductive cycle.
fertilizer. They can
Yes, it's
decompose.
fertilizer.
Yes.
But it's on snow.
Oh
No,
my
but the thing
goodness!
is-
Still will end up
What?
on the ground.
What?
There's about 3 needle. Okay, this depends on what kind of pine tree you're looking at.
This
But
is
this
the
says-
big time.
This says 3 needles per strand is in 1 pound of pine needles. Those
What?
pine needles are approximately 10 to 12 inches long.
Okay, but how much do they weigh?
Oh, I don't know how much each one weighs. It just tells me that there's 3 needles in 1 pound.
Wait, what?
I don't feel like there are 3 needles in 1 pound.
Oh, okay. So
Kevin, you're muted.
Thedon.
you fail to realize that a pine needle is like a grouping of what we call a pine needle is like not the same as what we think it is, because one pine needle for us is like the one strand, but one pine needle on a tree is where where's like 20 pine needles come out of. That's all
It's
one
like
pine
a separate branch.
And that's how you
Yeah.
tell the difference between a pine
Oh.
tree and other coniferous trees. Fun fact.
Oh.
Ah.
I
So
love that we're streaming us talking about pine needles.
well, that's
gotta
because
fill it up
Frey wants to
somehow.
collect. Frey wants to fill my X amount of pouches that I have with my herbalism kit.
Do we title the episodes? Because this one needs to be pine needle title.
The
thought-
episode.
It's
The
just the
last one has
whole
a bit of
4
a spelling
hours is about
difference,
pine
but-
needles.
The whole, all of it.
We're actually
Pine
going to
needle
stop running the
addiction.
campaign and just make this a podcast. All about
Pine Needles
needles.
Anonymous.
This is no longer
Pine-
a D&D stream.
We are
We are
taking
a
over.
Dungeon podcast.
Interesting
Go
facts
lock
about
Casey's
trees.
door so he can't
We
come
have
back to
murdered
the
the
podcast.
This is
We
Pine
have
Needles Anonymous.
Jumped this now.
I'm still waiting on a number, TC.
Yeah, I really
I'm-
need to know how much.
I'm looking up how many pouches are in a herbalism kit.
We're learning so much today.
I'm literally
About
like
pine
about to like
needles.
sob because this is hilarious and so dumb. Like what's
The question is,
happening?
how many of the pine
X,
needles does Randall
you have a
steal?
X, you have a coin pouch, right?
Me?
No.
Yeah. You have a coin pouch, right?
If you
I
have
would
any extra pine needles, I can just shove them in my bag.
I would assume I have a coin pouch.
I'll give you all of my money and then we'll fill my coin pouch with pine needles as well.
Wait,
You think your
why does
dragon
it
eats
say there
pine
are
needles?
exactly that many pine
No,
needles, no matter
Yeah, we
what?
know what the dragon eats.
It says I can make potions with my herbalism kit, but it doesn't tell me how many pouches are in my herbalism kit.
Hey, Umberon,
Yes.
why
Quick,
are
someone
we
throw
allowed
out a
to
number.
pick this plant, but we're not allowed to pick the plants around the house?
Because those plants are put there with purpose in mind. Whereas,
Are the trees
Plants put
not?
there by-
The trees photosynthesize.
well, yeah, but they just kind of pop up there. So it doesn't matter where they are, just that they exist.
I don't really see the difference.
Just tell me how many pouches there are. It doesn't say. It just
These
says
plants
pouches
grow in
to
the
store
house, and sure,
herbs.
someone put them there, but they're still just plants. They're just growing there.
Well, but if you remove those plants because those plants aren't native to this area, then they won't be able to regrow. Whereas when we remove a pine tree, the other pine trees will go and make a new pine tree somehow.
Right, guys. You ready for the 6 reasons why we need these pine needles?
Oh boy.
Pine needles.
Because they're rich in vitamin A and vitamin C. Their scent is known to boost your mood. They help
I
with
do like
weight
that.
maintenance. They help with arthritis and joint health. They are antioxidant rich, and they help you breathe better.
Because they
Interesting.
photosynthesize.
Ooh.
How many pine needles would you allow me to eat before you stop me?
I would allow you to eat as many, like a handful, but like a little
Your
at a
weight.
time, not like the whole handful.
Because, like, I am a sheep person.
Yeah, so I feel like I wouldn't
Generally
question it.
eat plants, I would assume. I could eat meat. I don't know.
A recipe.
Pull out a knife. Let's test that theory.
Required
To make pine needle tea, how many pine needles do you need?
Well, it depends how dark you want it.
Exotic ingredient.
Recipe.
I'm just gonna Google fun facts about pine.
Did you
Let's
ever try
not
to have any
continue them.
touches?
I'm
It,
looking into it too, and it is not making it easy on me.
there's nothing. There's
No, we
absolutely.
lost the rest.
Rust has
Uh-oh.
died.
I
He
don't know why
disappeared.
this is happening. My
He ran
computer's
around a corner and then came back.
Yeah, my computer's doing some weird things.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out why it's doing those things.
It's
If
because your computer isn't a pine tree.
Guys, if I take
yes.
4 weeks, I can make a potion of supreme healing. But only if we have 10,000 gold pieces worth of raw materials.
We just need 10. Wait,
Same
okay, so the
gold
question is,
standard.
how many pine needles is worth 10,000 gold?
Hmm.
Alone.
That's a
Probably
great
more than
question.
165.
I can make a potion of healing in 1 day. 1 potion of healing per day, but I need 25 gold pieces of the materials.
Define materials.
It just says value of raw materials.
Welcome
like,
back.
What exactly do we need? Ah, he returns.
No,
DM
it rests.
returns.
Oh,
That
he
was weird.
returns.
Oh my gosh.
Yo.
Casey, you missed
So-
out. We've been talking
No,
about
I
pine
heard the
needles.
entire thing. I can hear the entire thing.
Casey,
So
how many
before
pouches
I-
would you...
So before I address all of the questions that I felt like I had to address, let me first address those of you watching and just say that everybody's had a bloody nose. I had a bloody nose, and I've been sick recently, so it's just more common. So if I need to, I'll just stick some toilet paper up my nose and we'll continue. But for now, we're good.
And each time we will bring up pine needles.
Oh my gosh.
I hate the
So
pine needles.
first to address an herbalism kit, I don't think there's going to be more than 6.
I would assume not more than 6 pouches. It just doesn't
I don't
give
think
me
there's
a
going to be more than
number.
6. So I'm going to say you have 5.
I have
As
5
for
pouches.
as for you, Frey, I would say that filling Seric's air with pine needles is probably not the best option.
Yeah,
That
I
makes
can't
it sound
carry
like
much.
You're just gonna like.
Nope.
And
We're not
I'm also
doing that.
excited. I'm also excited to just see how, like, if pine needle tea becomes your like signature drink as a party.
Can you guys
It already
Sarah's getting
has.
excited.
Like, how are we gonna stop that now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Landon.
I'm frozen. Both on
Yeah,
I
you're
can
frozen.
hear you.
and yeah.
But we can hear you. It's okay.
Oh well,
You're just in a very flattering pose, you know.
right?
Yeah, you look off into the
I
distance.
was the DM for a second on stream. I was so happy.
Yeah, that is what happens. Your screen becomes the DM screen while you're on Twitch.
I don't know if it'll ever unfreeze, but I love it.
Yeah, you're just sitting here like, huh?
You look like
Wait,
you've
so
got
how
something
many
to say.
pouches did we manage to fill?
Casey says I have 5. The DM has ruled I have 5 pouches. I have several glass
If you have
jars.
extras, I can just put it in my bag.
I gave you
Yeah.
my coin. Does that mean another pouch?
Sure. You now have 6 pouches full of pine needles that you will forever be eating from. Okay.
Who's carrying
So-
these pine needles? Because it's not me.
I think
I
Frey
have-
said he would.
I can.
Okay.
How much money
Don't
did you
encourage
hand me?
them.
So
I handed
stepping
you 20 gold pieces.
I
Oh,
hate to interrupt, but stepping past the pine needles, we're going to move on to your continuing journey here. As you walk through Tayari Woods. If two of you would like to make me survival checks, that would be wonderful.
I will do it.
And one of you who is familiar with the area and has traveled can make a history check.
I don't think I've traveled that
Yeah.
much.
I have traveled here.
I don't think you've
best
traveled
history
the
check
Tayari
ever.
Woods.
Would I have?
I
I
would
got
say
a 4.
Serixer and Frey are the most likely.
I got a 4 on the
did you roll
history check, a
survival?
20 on the survival.
Okay,
Okay.
so what was the other survival check number?
6.
Okay. Raise
I
your
got a
fully
10 on
lost.
history.
Okay. So between all of you, you are able to keep in a general direction of Thedon. I believe each of your characters, except for Ramus, and maybe, yeah, except for Ramus, would have been to Thedon. As
Okay.
it is
Okay.
the city, it's right next to Bosham. You would have at least passed through.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
except for Ramus, I believe that you've all been to Thedon. Therefore, you would know. You guys are able to get there. It takes almost a day to get there, but you make fairly good time with Frey's ability to track and his familiarity with the woods. You're able to make your way there quickly. I would say that it's just after nightfall when you guys can see ahead of you on the ground. You can see actually that there is what appears to be a canyon, like a ravine that goes down, and there is light spilling out from it.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Can I walk to the edge and look down?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Can I walk to the edge and look down, Casey?
Yeah, sure. So as you step to the edge and look down, you can see that deep, that below you, the ravine itself is nearly 200 to 400 feet across from you. And you can see that down beneath you, built into the canyon walls, are the is the city of Thedon. Is built into the canyon walls.
Oh.
You can see that there are tiers almost, and like shelves that stick out, but a lot of it is built into the walls. And there are ladders and staircases and things that allow you to traverse the city. There are rope bridges that pass between the two sides of the city, and from where you are looking down, you would be able to see that right down, appearing to be like on the opposite side from you, looking directly down, you can see what appears to be a little bit of a shanty town that's built into the wall there, ramshackle, just ladders and rickety staircases that could break and fall at any moment. You can see that there is what appears to be a better residential district just a little bit off to kind of the left of that, another kind of residential district, and then far off to the side you can see what appear to be factories and mine entrances. Far off to the left, that side has fewer torches and things lit.
How do you build a city into the side of a ravine without falling? How does that work?
Ladders.
How do you build
Presumably
a wall
magic.
into a city?
I would use ladders.
I
Yes.
didn't know the ladder was big enough for this.
On a more important note, we need to find this harpies.
Did we
place.
ever introduce each other, or do we only know names of characters based on the fact that they've been said by other people?
I think you
We
guys did
only know the
introduce each other.
names.
I think you
I
guys
don't
introduced each other.
Yeah,
If we
session
didn't, I am
0.
so
We introduced
hungry
ourselves.
for six
Did we?
sessions.
I don't remember introducing.
At the
to
very
any of
least,
us.
we introduced ourselves to
I think it was Session
the old
0
man.
stuff.
So we all would have
Yeah.
overheard.
The old to Imidar.
What old man?
Yeah,
I'm like, what old man?
I meant
Imid-
Imidar.
Imidar is
Mr.
not an
Shadowfell.
old
Yeah,
man.
Imidar's not. Yeah, he's young. He's like 20.
Oh, sorry. Landon said he was an old man earlier, so that
Goat man.
overrode whatever
said
you
goat
said.
He
man.
said goat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
he said goat
misheard.
man. You're good. You're good. No problem.
I don't know what the lifespan of a. You say he was a centaur? I don't know what their
Yeah,
lifespans
he's a
look
centaur.
like. So maybe he's old, yet maybe he's young. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
He's just-
Yeah, go ahead eventually.
But yes, I think we should find that place as soon as possible, and then hopefully figure out if anybody knows what happened in Bash here.
Right.
It's not down in that poor area, is it? Because I don't think I can get down there.
You guys can see that from here, there is a bridge. It's about a mile to your left. That starts up at the top. There's a small little building there, and it leads down into the city from there.
Is
Well,
it
looks like
also
we can go
rickety?
there.
No, it's a sturdy bridge.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
good.
All of them appear to be rope bridges, like or something of this kind, but it seems to be made of like sturdy rope from what you can see.
Yeah, you just said all the ladders were super rickety, and I was like, I don't know if I can follow you guys if you go down those.
You're a little bit
Yeah,
heavy.
it looks like we can get in over
Whoa.
there. So yeah,
I'm
let's
not calling
let's
you
go.
fat.
I guess.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're just dense.
Okay. Making
That's a good way to describe him.
I'll
Yes.
take that as a compliment.
Yikes. Okay. Making your way to this particular bridge, you can see up at the top is just a small guard post. You can see that there appears to be three or so guards inside. One of them glances out. One of you does have the stream up, and I can hear myself through your thing.
It's not me.
But okay,
Couldn't be me.
you're good.
I'm muted.
You're good.
Mhm.
So you can see through the like right there at the top of this thing, the three guards, they kind of look out and glance at you. You get some weird looks from them, and one of them says, "Your business here in Thedon?"
We're here
Uh,
to deliver a package to the Harpy's Nest.
I believe
Harpy
so.
Hardy.
Yes.
Harpy Hardy.
It's an alchemy shop. If you could point
The
us in the direction.
yeah, the Harpy's Hideaway.
Yes,
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah, and he points down, and as he does, you can actually see that the interesting. You can actually see that down below to the he kind of says, I'm trying to think of how best to describe where this is because I can't remember how best to say it. He says, cross the bridge. Then when you get down there, head along the northeast wall until you are able to cross into Barber's yard.
Ah, thank you. As I bow a little bit.
Okay.
And then would you know of anywhere else that we could stay the night, perhaps, like a tavern? And if I could play some music there, that would be awesome as well.
Yes. My suggestion of a place to stay would be the Candle Moon. Should be quite close to the Harpy's Hideaway.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, Evangeline, go
so-
ahead.
Have you heard any news from Bosham? Maybe the captain of the guard of where I come from, Trad, if he's come through.
Yes. The survivors of Bosham are there, and he points, and you can see that across the top of the ravine from you on the far side, you can see that there is a large camp set up.
Okay. Thank you very much. And then I would like to head over there.
Okay. Are you asking him how to get there?
Is there like a bridge over? Or
No,
is it
not
just a bridge
directly over.
down?
It's just the bridge down.
Okay. Then yes. How would I go about getting there?
I mean, you could take the Sky Ferry, and he points over to the side. You can see that there's a ferry that goes across, and it seems to just float in the air and just head across, and then comes back. And he just says, "I believe the fare is just silver per person to cross."
Okay. Thank you. And if any of you, I'm talking to the party now. If any of you would like to come with me, that's all right. Or I can meet you in that tavern he spoke of.
I would very much like to accompany you.
Well then.
I want to accompany my friend, but also I want to go talk to the magic lady.
I don't think
Sorry,
you.
confusing.
I think
Grace
you should
doesn't
go
say
with
anything. She just walks
Umberon.
up to you and stands next to you.
What did you say?
Race just walks and stands next to you. She doesn't say anything.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like
I
lean into you for a
wanna
second and then
check on
just
my
straighten back
family.
out.
So I think the general consensus is to go see the survivors, then maybe go to the hideaway.
No.
If it influences your plans, the Harpy's Hideaway is closed right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
then
well,
no.
that's
It is night. In case
Oh,
any of you, are you just where are you all from?
everywhere.
We're
We
from
were
Bosham.
in
At least
Bosham.
some of us.
Yeah, we just came from Bosham.
Okay, but you think that shops are open at night?
No,
No,
I'm sorry
we
for the
just-
confusion.
the occasional one is.
We just figured the owner might be, I don't know, honestly. I wasn't thinking very far ahead.
That's fine. I was just confused.
This is a very judgmental guard here.
No, he's just really confused. You can just tell he's just really confused.
Thinks we're all stupid.
What do you mean shopkeepers don't live in their shops?
I'll explain it to you later. Let's go. She's like
Any
ushering
reaction
everybody.
to the dragon on me in any way, or are they just taking that like, ooh, that's cool?
Like, do they like bat an eye at it?
Yeah.
I actually need to roll if they can see it.
Ooh.
One eye has been batted.
You do notice that one of them seems to be the older of them, like plucks the dragon, and you notice that like he doesn't really do a double take, but you do notice that he kind of looks closer and then he kind of just shrugs.
Cool. All right.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I think I
interesting. Let's just get
shuffled
going.
everybody to the ferry.
Yes, mother hen style. You kind of just shuffle everyone over to the ferry.
Yeah.
It is 1 silver each person to cross.
I will pay
Six,
for
or can
everybody.
you- Oh, okay.
Okay. You gave me all
Okay.
your money. You can't pay for
Yeah.
anything anymore.
That is 8. No, 7. Sorry, 7 silver.
Okay.
The guy who's operating it just kind of like he sees your whole group, and he's just like, all right, get on, I guess. And
What's
you
the
see
weight
like
capacity of the ferry?
what did you
Does
say,
it
Ramos?
sink a little?
What's the weight capacity of the ferry?
That is a good question.
Because some of us are quite heavy.
You step on, it does not sink at all. Doesn't do anything.
Wow.
While we're on there, can I like look for what makes it float?
Sure. How? Roll me an investigation check.
Heck
Someone
yeah,
keep
investigation.
that one from falling off the edge.
This thing's pretty sturdy. I weigh 480 pounds right now.
Oof, that's not very good. That's a 5.
Okay, looking around up here on the top of it, you don't see any reason why it's flying.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Does this fairy person seem as confused as the guards did?
More just kind of like, make me an insight check, please.
Okay. Because I'm just trying to figure out why we're getting so many weird looks.
I mean,
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna ask, like, have you recognized the fact of what your group kind of looks like?
There's 7 different types
Listen,
of people here,
Race doesn't discriminate.
all dressed differently. If we were part of like a large group of hundreds of people, we wouldn't look so weird. But where it's just the 7 of us, we look a little bit weird.
I got a 13.
Okay, his kind of thing is like, the look on his face is kind of like, you get weird people crossing the ferry. And he just
In the
kind of
middle
like,
of the night.
yeah, in the middle of the night, one of them dressed all in black with a black veil covering the entire head, black gloves, and guns.
I look very
Ray's just
terrifying.
used to it.
Where's the town of Bosham?
Don't worry.
Where's Bosham?
Rachel.
He, oh boy. He reaches aside, he grabs onto, there seems to be kind of like a handle there to the side. And he just like, he takes and cranks it down to the bottom, and then you watch as rising up out of a little slot in the ferry. And now that you're closer, and especially from Ramas, your investigation check, you notice that a lot of this, it's kind of painted to look like wood, but most of this is made of metal. And you watch as like rising from this small area is a small translucent, basically octagon, kind of, like an octagonal prism. And he kind of places his hand on it and kind of curves it forward, and and you watch as the ferry just kind of slowly begins to move across.
Can I use detect magic?
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems to be fairly standard magic. From what you can tell.
What's cool?
I don't know. It's a school of magic. I don't know.
Probably.
Levitation.
Enchantment.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It's probably just enchantment, honestly.
Fair
It's just
enough.
enchanted to fly. But yeah, it takes you
transmutation.
guys across. Yeah. It seems to be it from your guys' guess, it's probably going to take you about an hour to cross the whole distance. It's a pretty slow thing.
So
Is
fun.
anyone here afraid of heights? Sorry, did I
Nope.
talk over someone?
No.
I
No.
couldn't quite hear.
I mean, I was saying something, but it wasn't important.
Whether Frey would be afraid of heights or not.
I mean, you haven't flown.
Have not.
I'm definitely not afraid of heights.
You know what? We're gonna find out right now. He is not afraid of heights.
Okay,
Good.
Cool.
good. The Drake Warden is not afraid of the heights.
Yes. Okay. As you guys are slowly making your way across, the ferryman kind of the whole time is just kind of like, he eyed you all for a little bit, and then he kind of just like got over the fact of like the novelty of you guys, and he's kind of like, he has a little chair that you can see he's like bolted into the ground basically of the thing, and he just kind of sits there and he like slowly pulls out a flask and he's like,
What you drinking?
His sorrows away.
You want some?
Sure.
It's
What
pine
is
needle tea, please.
Don't give it to him. That's very bad. This is a child.
Can I try that before Ramus does?
Sure.
Do you want some? Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Can I try some?
Hey,
Okay.
are we all drinking this
Evangeline.
drink?
I'm just gonna
You're gonna-
stand at the back.
So you're gonna drink this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's really good. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. It's some really strong spirits, like alcohol, really strong. But you can tell that it's probably is made with stuff that's really not good for your health at all. In fact, you're fairly certain there's like probably a couple poisonous things in here. So yeah.
Are you trying to die?
She's just gonna be like, Ramus, I think it tastes disgusting, so I don't think you should. And then she's gonna take like another swig and then hand it back to the guy.
Okay.
Wait. No, it's
If you
The guy
really
kind of
want
offers
some-
it to you, Frey.
okay. I'm gonna take it, sniff it. Do I
It's-
smell anything
it's-
crazy?
It smells like lighter fluid.
Gonna reach into a pouch, pull out some pine needles, stuff it in, and then like
his
swirl
fun.
it and drink it.
Okay.
Have a
Make me a
sip.
Constitution saving
Yeah.
throw.
Okay.
You just made it go like catatonic, so you're just gonna explode.
Ooh, yeah, we're doing great today. That's a 6.
Okay. So you put the pine needles in. The guy's kind of like, and as you just kind of like you stuff these in, you take a drink, and you feel like literally almost as if someone lit a fire in your throat and just going all the way down. Like you've had some strong stuff before, but this is something else. And he just kind of like, as soon as you drink it, he kind of like watches your eyes and he immediately like snatches it and puts it back. And then he kind of like, you watch as he opens up a small box next to his chair and pulls out a rope and immediately like, as Frey's like starts to like wobble, takes and like ties him to the ferry.
Oof.
He would be able
That
to hold his
didn't temper
drink
me yet.
better.
Woo! What's
He
it
says-
say?
He just kind of looks at you, Evangeline. He's like, "I'm impressed, little lady." And he looks at Frey and he's like, "Not as impressed with that."
You'd think I'd be used to this by now.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
no.
supposed to be drinking buddies.
This is
The
what's
rest
happened
is you gotta
every time.
try that.
Nah, man, I'm not. I can't put things back like you can, and I'm pretty sure that I couldn't do that. But thank you.
Okay. I would like for you to really quick, Frey, make me a Constitution check.
Alright.
He's gonna throw up.
That's a 4.
If you throw
Nice.
up on me, do not do that. I already like went in sewage water for you. Don't do it again.
Don't throw up
Don't do
on
Okay.
me. Please
So you
don't.
kind of like lay down and then like on the like just there and your like whole head is spinning, you're like, wow. Then you lean to the side and just totally barf all off the side of the ferry, just down into the ravine.
Well, that's good.
That's good. I hope that didn't hit anybody on the way down, as that would not be a
How
pleasant day
many
for
people
them.
did it hit?
Those pine needles, man.
Yeah,
Supposed
there's
to help
pine
keep it
needles in there,
down.
aren't there? So
You said
if it
it's
does
supposed
hit
to help
somebody,
you.
it's really not gonna
It's like
feel
a-
good.
I'm just realizing that you just shoved pine needles into some other person's flask
Yes.
of
Oh,
liquid.
yeah. No, it's gonna be pine distilled right there.
That's
Can I watch to make sure
wonderful.
it doesn't hit anyone?
What'd you say,
You know,
Ramos?
now I'm just wondering if you're my drinking buddy. So did I notice you put pine needles into every drink that you ever consumed, pretty much?
Only when I'm out and about. Normally
okay.
we grind them up and then add them to the drink in the tavern. So like you've already been drinking pine needle beer.
Okay.
I just
Uh,
I just wanted to make
At least
sure.
when
I
I'm
was
there to
watching
serve.
make
I
sure
don't know
it
what my
doesn't hit
family
anyone.
does.
Okay, sorry. Say that one more time, Kyria.
I'm sorry. I
You're
just
good.
want to make sure, like, I just want to watch to make sure it doesn't hit anyone. And if it looks like it's going to, I want to make a portal and put the other side at the end of the ferry.
Okay.
Not
What?
over the ferry, not off the side of the ferry, just on
Yeah,
the
I'm
ferry.
just
Make sure it
like
doesn't
I'm
hit
just
someone.
wondering. Your portal doesn't reach that far.
Yeah, it doesn't reach that far, but I'll get the rest, like what I can, that is close enough.
Okay.
Like it's just for the person who's getting hit, but
Yeah. So from what you can tell, Thedon doesn't actually reach. It doesn't sit at the bottom of the canyon at all.
oh, okay,
So it shouldn't hit anybody.
okay.
Okay. If I could have any of you who would like to are welcome to roll perception checks.
Okay, because I'm not drunk, I will.
Okay.
Am I able to?
I will.
Yeah, with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Perception, you said?
Yeah, perception.
Not terrible. I got a 14.
I got a 13.
Okay.
Well,
I got a 16.
I got a 14 as well.
22.
22. Nice.
Yeah.
Umbron, with your
Disadvantage?
poison, how did you get?
Disadvantage.
Oh,
hey, man.
First of all, in the morning, I use Lay of Hands to get rid of my poison.
Okay.
And also, I thought only 2 of us were rolling, so I didn't roll anything.
You're good.
That is a 19.
Okay. So Frey and Umbron, you would notice just the city of tents that are across this thing that you could see before, but now as you're getting closer, you can see these over here. That there are a lot of people that are out here. There are not enough tents. And you can also see that a lot of the stuff that's here is actually their wagons that are seem to be prepared and ready to leave. It's an exodus is basically what this place seems to be.
Big
Okay.
oof.
As you guys finally reach the other side, the ferryman kind of cranks the handle back up, and then just kind of gestures for you all to get off. Basically, he just kind of shoos you off. Basically,
Hey,
Thank you,
I
sir.
wanna, yeah, I'll thank him
Oh,
too.
man.
mm-hmm. Okay, bye. And you see him pull it back up and go to the other side. Okay.
Dooms across.
Need to get back.
So,
Yeah, you
where
do
were we
notice that
heading
it's
again?
going quite a bit faster the other direction.
There's
Anyone else feeling like
What is that?
That's you, Susie.
PC? Okay, we're good.
oof.
Okay.
Apologize to the viewers at home. Jeez.
You're good.
You blew our eardrums out just barely. Your mic broke, I think.
My
Just wanted to include a
ears.
quick jump scare.
Who was that?
It was
That was
TC.
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 Oh.
I don't know what happened. That's weird.
Weird.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
look at it eventually. I'll be like, you said you wanted to head somewhere, right? Or was I mistaken?
Yes, I needed to find someone who can give me information. If we can find my captain of the guard, then that would be great.
Do you happen
Okay.
to know where he is?
I don't, but if he's not here, then I'm worried where he could be.
Do I know
Like
this
some-
man?
Do you know Trad, her captain of the
Yeah,
guard?
because is he a city breaker or is
No.
it a different guard?
He's
Okay.
he's just a simple soldier. You may have seen him, but I don't think you would know him.
Okay.
Umbron, do you think we could find your parents here?
What?
Do you think we could find your parents here?
That is the plan. Yes.
Umbron, make me a history check, please.
Oh boy. Wait, oh my gosh. I have perception in history. So that is a dirty
What?
20.
I don't know what perception in history is, but that's awesome. So, as you
He can read books.
yes, he can in fact read books. Okay. You would know that most likely your parents are staying in the Silver Garden. It's not an inn. It is a section of the city. You would know your parents are likely there, as it is kind of a district dedicated to the higher members of the Geohex Warlocks.
Wait, is it on the side that we're heading to?
It is. Allow me to tell you. It is right beneath you. Yes. So you've arrived at
Okay.
that side. It is on the side you were on. Is the Silver Garden.
I would have been upset.
Hey,
I
Hey,
would.
Rich
Why? That
boy.
pair did is cool.
rich boy,
Rich
you were
boy.
drunk, right? For these past 2 days or so,
I was drunk?
right?
I have never been drunk.
Yeah.
How dare you imply such a thing?
Well, you looked like you were drunk or something. You look like you're fine now. Can you fix me?
I will attempt to. Is being drunk a poison and/or disease?
It's a poisoned effect. Yeah.
Okay,
So are you
yeah,
using 5 points of lay on hands on him?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and lay on hands.
Okay. Yeah. So you are not drunk anymore, but that burning, like that dryness in your whole canal of liquid is still there. That is the scientific term, canal of liquid. Yes.
When I replicate that, we're gonna call it the dragon's breath.
Oh boy.
Whew.
For future reference, my name is not Rich Boy.
What's your name?
My name is Umbron Arcania Farliar the First, and I will do my
Whoa, whoa,
fancy
whoa.
little bow.
Way too many syllables right there. Gonna have to stop you. What?
Is 3 small enough?
No.
He thought 3 was 2 syllables earlier, so probably
Well, then
not.
is 2 small enough? And I'll pretend 3 is 2.
Wait, Umber where? Is that underwear?
Umberon.
Underwear on?
Why don't you call him?
Yes, his underwear is in fact on.
Yes, I can confirm.
How about you just call him Umber or something?
Yes,
I
if
don't
you
know.
can remember Umber, I shall accept this.
How about
Just
Umber. We'll go with
My mic is not.
As opposed to Rich Boy, this is acceptable.
Okay.
Right,
Okay. Are you asking for directions, Evangeline, or are you simply walking into the camp?
I'll ask for directions.
Okay.
No, Evangeline just waltzes in.
Yeah, Evangeline
Has
walks
seen
in.
my mom?
She expects directions. She shouldn't have to ask.
Evangeline walks in, pulls a gun on the first person she sees, and just says, "Tell me where Trad is." Okay. You step in, and you do notice that several of the people notice you, like recognize you immediately. And a couple of, one of, you can see a guard that's off to the side, kind of move up to you and says, and you notice as he steps up that he's wearing he's quite young, and he's wearing, these look old, but obviously new for him, guard's armor. He steps up to you, and says, Lady Evangeline, we did not know what happened to you. Are you looking for something specific?
Yes, is Trad around, my captain of the guard?
Yes, he is. I can take you to him if you'd like.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Of course. And he just kind of leads you through the camp. It takes you about 10 minutes to walk to where he is leading, and eventually he arrives at. You can see that there is a large patch of ground. That there doesn't seem to be tents. There are very few. A lot of it is just blankets that have been put up on sticks, things like that. And there is a campfire there, and you can see that Trad is sitting at the edge of the campfire. You can see that he does have. There's no blood on it, but there's a bandage that's just kind of on his head right here. So he seems to be healing from whatever the wound is, and he just kind of seems to be sitting there at the fire with several of the other guards.
Okay. Can I just walk up to him? And
Okay.
just, like, as I'm walking, be like, Trad.
Okay. You see his head turn around, and then he stands up quickly, and says, "My lady, Evangeline, it is wonderful to see that you are safe. What happened?"
Um, we got in a few scuffles and got into the sewer, but we're all right.
All right. Well then, what are your orders, madam?
I just want you to rest up. But what happened to the rest of the family?
The rest of what family, ma'am?
Of my family?
Your parents have been gone for a long time, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I must have forgotten about that. Okay, and what about the other families?
Ma'am, you've and he gestures over the like blankets that have been propped up and things around. And he says, "We got everyone out that we could, ma'am. Accounted for are all but 30.
That's great. And who were the 30? Do you know who they were?
From my understanding, ma'am." And he hands you a list. And it seems to be a list that he's been taking for a while. Seems to have just been finished. Some of the ink isn't even dry on it. That he's been kind of taking inventory of who's there, and making sure everyone was fine and everything like that. And you can see that the names that are still not checked off are just several of the poorest people, the people who couldn't walk on their own.
And she just wants to thank him, so thank you, Trad. And then she wants to give him a hug. Like, it's good to see that you're safe.
It's good to see that you're safe, ma'am. I'm sorry that we couldn't get everyone out. I failed in
It's
that
all right.
regard.
No, okay.
Do
Very
I
well.
see the heads of my family sticking up anywhere?
Make me a perception check.
It's a weird way to word that sentence.
But the
I mean,
correct
it's the
way.
most effective way to find them. It's a 12.
It's 12. Looking around, you don't see any like particularly tall people sitting around, though it is night, so they could be asleep. There are some campfires up. It seems like this campfire that Trad is at, and several of your soldiers are at, Evangeline, seems to be one of the few. That is still like lit at this time of night.
Perhaps we should go to the tavern and just enjoy
Eva.
tonight. We got out of our scuffle happily. Should we not enjoy today a little bit?
Eva, right? Evan?
Please
know your
never
name.
call me Eva.
Do you have a name that's 2 syllables or less that I can use?
Lena.
Lena.
Mm-hmm.
I can't read.
What?
Is there anyone on that list with the last name Ingor?
Let me check. Is there anybody?
From Frey.
Yeah, so you quickly look through. There is Ingor. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, you would technically know. No, so the list isn't. The list is of everybody.
Oh,
It's not of the of just the 30 people missing. Yeah, it's of everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good. You can see that accounted for are there are 3 Ingor names that are accounted for that are here. One of them is the mother, then the son, and the daughter are here. Missing on the list is a Frey Ingor.
It looks like there's 3 names. I would tell them the names. And then say that, but you seem to be missing.
I think I found myself, so I think we're good.
Very good to hear.
All right.
Trad does look
Cool,
at you and
thank
say,
you.
Trad looks at you and says, "You are Frey Ingor?"
Yes.
Very well. 29 missing, and he marks off that your name is here.
Wait, is my name on there?
Or there would be.
Your name would not be.
Okay.
I didn't think my name would be on there actually.
Yeah, none of the rest of your names would be on there. The only person's name who would be on there would be Frey. And Frey, you would probably actually have met Evangeline at some point, being where you live.
Oh, okay.
You probably would have at least like seen me, but we probably hadn't met before.
How about we look in the morning for the people, because they might be sleeping currently. Does that sound good to anyone? Perhaps. Unless you would like to see your family immediately, then I guess we should look for them.
I mean, they're probably sleeping. So I don't care.
How late into the night is it?
Right now, it's getting close to around 11 p.m.
So is sleepy time. Sarah yawns.
You see the canines, like the back of his teeth.
Like, he's
We know
yawning almost to get everyone's attention to say, we need to go to sleep.
The end of
To a
oh,
tavern,
Tyrion,
or
go
are we
ahead.
setting up?
There's
Tyrion, what were you
the
gonna say?
tavern near the Harpy place. That was called Candlefoot or something.
Yeah, Candleman.
Candleman.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead,
There we
Tyrion.
All right. Are there any children up and about at this time, or like anyone who desperately looks like they need a pillow?
Desperately looks like they need a pillow. Looking out over this sea of tents and stuff, you can see plenty of people who could use a pillow.
I want to go around handing out pillows.
Okay.
Is it now a bag of pillows?
I have a lot of pillows, okay? Pillows are
Okay.
soft and fluffy, and they look nice. That is definitely something that Ramis collects a lot.
They look like you on the inside.
They are also
They look like
They are
you're
also-
outside.
they are also
Super nice.
compressible. So that is another big caveat. They are also compressible.
They literally came from a count's house. So very nice pillow.
Sleeping
they're
nice
probably
pillows.
not.
I
They're
should
probably
know.
filled
Some
with
of
like
them are
feather.
actual pillows. Some of them are just pillowcases that are full of stuff that he forgot are not actually pillows.
Nice. Okay.
He's just handing stuff out.
Yeah. Okay. You, as you're handing it out, several of the people just kind of look up at you, and I just say, "Thank you. It means a lot."
No problem.
One of them is
Yeah.
a fully set bear trap inside of a pillowcase.
Oh, just
No.
straight up kills a dude.
That's bad. Very bad. Bad ramen.
Or one of them's just a pillow, but it's just filled with rocks, and that's it.
Yeah. It's just rocks and a pillowcase.
Loses his head because it was a bear trap, not a pillow.
Yeah.
Children are definitely prioritized in the list of people who get pillows.
Okay. Very well. Okay. To answer your question, Ryan, I think that I either just forgot and messed up. It's your choice. I'll let you pick. Okay. So, as you guys, I assume you're making your way to the Candle Moon. Okay.
I think so.
All right.
I guess.
As you descend into the city, on this side there is a small tunnel that's been dug into the ground that goes down and into the Shanty Town that enters here. As you enter into the Shanty Town, I will tell you, Frey, I will need a dexterity check to not break through anything here. And the same thing for Ramis.
Oh no!
The heavy people.
We're actually okay, guys. I got a 21.
Nice.
If I break anything, I can just teleport onto a different part. It's fine.
It just breaks the entire city teleporting.
Oh, I got a nat.
Wait, just teleport the
Nice.
entire time instead of taking the stairs.
Okay. You guys all seem pretty much fine. As you guys are able to make your way through the Shanty Town, moving from where you guys have come down, it's interesting. it's a strange place to be. It smells both like fresh air and outside all the time, but also like dirty, unwashed people here in the Shanty Town. You can hear the sounds of people indoors and things around, the creaking of the buildings around that are just barely hanging onto the walls as you are just kind of walking through. It's also strange just being basically standing on almost nothing. These shelves that stick out just barely, either made of wood or just small platforms of pieces of metal that are just sticking out, and the buildings are set either into the walls or some other situation. It's an interesting place to be as you make your way from the across the um, almost horizontal streets to what would be I guess I do need to ask, are you going to the tavern, or Umberon, are you looking for your parents right now? Do need to ask that.
I would like to. Are we passing through that area on our way to the tavern?
No, you are not.
Okay, well, but we are going down layer, correct?
You are going. You are so to get to the tavern. You actually need to cross a rope bridge to the other side.
Okay, I will split off from everybody and look for my parents.
May
Okay.
I accompany?
I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but if you want to, you're welcome to.
I mean, I would like to.
Okay, so you're following Umberon. Okay. And are you doing this like stealthily leaving, or would everybody have noticed you leave?
Yeah, if he's trying to be stealthy, I don't know if I would follow.
I mean,
Mostly because I probably
not
won't.
necessarily stealthily, but subtly for sure. Like, I'm just gonna casually, like, while everybody's walking, start going another way.
Would have noticed that for sure, but I would have probably just let him go.
This way.
Well, yes, you are. See you tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Do you need directions?
I believe I know where I'm going, right?
Yeah, you know how to get to the Silver Garden.
No, I'm quite well versed in this area.
All right then. See you tomorrow.
Farewell.
Okay.
Hmm.
Any
Good
of the
luck,
rest of you
sir.
saying anything? Yeah.
I'll probably. We're at the tavern now, right? Or no?
No, you've
No.
reached a
Okay.
rope bridge that'll take you across into the Barber's yard. Sorry.
Okay. Then never mind. That's all I've got.
Go ahead,
Can I,
Evangeline.
Oh yeah. Can I like? I'm just gonna like gently grab you, raised by the arm, and just be like, I would like you to go to the tavern tonight, just to have a nice bed to sleep in. But I think I'm going to go back up and just be with my people for the night.
I am your guard. I'd prefer to stay with you.
If you would like, that's totally fine.
I'll do that.
Okay. So are you two splitting off to go back up?
I think because I don't think there's like a catering anything that could cater to the amount of people that are in that camp.
No.
And so I'm like, yeah, I'll probably I'm gonna actually go to the tavern and then get raised something to eat and then go back.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Before we go to Umberon here, we'll continue with everybody else for just a second, and then we'll come back if that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you make your way across this bridge, Frey, as you step on, it's sturdy. Like the wood planks, and you all are pretty shocked that it doesn't sway at all. It's almost like as if it's a stone bridge, but made of rope and wood. It just sits there in the air. And as you cross, it's solid. And you reach the other side. It is kind of like an arc goes down, and you come back up. Arriving in the barber's yard, you do notice that they seem to be more made to show from the other side of the city to this side than from being actually there. You can actually see the signs of several different places. Like from where you are, you can see some of them have been like painted with some like kind of glow in the dark paint a little bit, things like that. You can see that there's a place called the Debonair Dagrid. You can see one that's called the Copper Horseshoe. You can see one that's in just awfully drawn letters, so bad. Like a toddler took a crayon to the sign. It says Gurks in like huge letters that have been actually drawn on the street, like on the wall itself. Is just Gurks, and you can see there are a couple other different places. And you can see, and there's also, you can see the tavern fairly easily from here. It is, you can see like the light coming out, and you can hear laughter from where you guys are.
Sounds like a Joe build.
How do you spell Gurks?
Yes.
Gerks.
All right. Also, am I having audio difficulties? Is it hard
No,
for you
you're
to
just
hear me?
quieter than everyone else.
Usually when you
I
talk,
didn't know that. I'll try to speak louder. I'm sorry.
You're good,
it's
you're good.
just for some reason when you talk and someone else is talking, it prioritizes everyone over you.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's
Okay.
just decided that Ramis just doesn't deserve it.
He's a thief, so he must not be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. So if you guys are headed to Candledoom, so guiding arrow, are you saying that Ramis is quiet for you guys?
Ugh. Wow. Okay.
We'll
Your
see.
mom
It's,
said, yeah.
yeah, it's okay. We'll see. All right. So, just kind of as you step forward, you're arriving at Candle Moon. Yeah, I'll just turn her up just a bit. No problem. Whoops. There we go. Turn that up to right there. Okay, no problem. All right. And there we go. Okay. So now she should be a little louder. That'll be fine. Okay. As you guys
It's
are,
good.
yeah,
Just like testing.
yeah, I think you should be good. I turned you up quite a bit. As you guys are making your way into Candle Moon, you can see that the inside there are no torches. Inside, there are torches on the outside that give out light, but on the inside, as you enter, it's actually kept dark, and you can see that that same kind of glow in the dark paint has been put inside on the walls and floor and the ceiling to make like a moonlit forest almost kind of a place to be. And you can see there are people sitting inside at different tables with just these tiny little, almost covered candles that are just kind of sitting there that allow people to see each other's faces up close. And that you can see that at the far end is a barkeep that you can see that appears to be just kind of sitting there, and you can actually see that the person that appears to be the barkeep is a translucent kind of a almost whitish blue color. And it's a woman wearing what appears to be just kind of an apron, hair kind of back in basically like pigtails, and she kind of notices you enter, and she kind of shouts, "Tell me if you need anything," and she keeps going back to kind of cleaning some of the glasses.
I like this lighting situation.
Yeah.
True.
You know, for being called Candle Moon, there's not a lot of candles.
But
There's a
there
candle
is
on
a
each
lot of
table.
moonlight.
Oh, there are candles. Okay, never mind then.
And it does look like this place
Have I
is
ever-
lit by moonlight.
Yeah. Have I ever seen someone who looks like this lady?
You all probably would have seen one before. This is a wisp.
Mm.
Or a whisper, I guess is what they're called. Whisper. She is another one of the shackled races.
They're
And
still shackled.
yeah, and so she's a whisper.
Mm.
You would have seen them. They're not incredibly common.
Cool.
Can I
Good.
go up and just ask? Well, I want to tell Raze.
Oh yeah.
You can get whatever you like, and I'll pay for it.
I'm getting a sandwich.
After your bloody sandwich was ruined.
Yes.
Okay. One sandwich. That's what you're asking for?
Yes.
Do you want
please.
anything to drink, Raze?
Water? Water is good for me.
Okay. And you see her, she kind of like goes back and you see her legs moving, but she doesn't make any noise as she walks over
Oh.
over the ground and everything. She goes back, and she comes back a little bit later with a tray with nice sandwich on it and a glass of water. Anything else for the rest of you?
Yeah. What kind of food is available? Do you have
What
do you have dino nuggies? Do you have chicken nuggets? Just small bits of chicken.
Yes, I do have that. You looking for like a
Yes.
kids menu kind of an option?
Yes.
Give me a moment. And she walks back and comes back like a little bit later with like, you can see that these are just like always prepared. They're like really stale, been there forever, just like cooking there for hours. She just like sets them on the counter. She says, "Enjoy." Any of the rest of you
Awesome,
want anything?
thank you.
Not sponsored. Does she have some kind of evening drink?
How strong you looking?
Just something to relax, you know?
Guess we found the alcoholic of the group.
And I'll come up and I'll be like, yes, I would also like a drink, but I want it
yes, drinking
very,
buddies.
very light. I prefer to be buzzed, not drunk.
I'm looking for like the same thing, but I might need a little bit more than him. So
Right.
All
How
right.
tall are the ceilings here?
They're fitting Frey just fine. Yeah, they're fitting
Okay.
Frey just fine.
Okay.
Any of the rest of you want any drinks before I start making all this? Any food?
I don't want to drink, but can I pay with a lamp?
No.
I'll
No.
pay for him.
But look at this lamp. He pulls out an elaborate looking lamp and sets it on the counter.
She looks
It's a
at it.
lamp.
She looks at it and then says, "Sure, I'll let you pay for it with that."
Yes, I'm learning business.
Yeah.
That's-
What you
She
doing?
takes the lamp that is definitely worth like 10 meals and just puts it underneath the counter.
if I'm not back by then, all you need to know is when she brings me the drink, I'm going to stuff pine needles into it and drink it with my buddies. I'll be back soon.
The
Perfect.
crazy alcoholic, not just the alcoholic, the insane alcoholic. That's what
Yes,
he
he's
is.
weird.
Alcoholic.
And
As
then
much as he's fine, he will not drink it.
I'll look at her and be like, that sandwich actually did look pretty good. If I could get one of those as well,
No
I'd
problem.
appreciate it.
Can do. Anything else for you, Fox Boy?
Do you have like steak? Or
Yeah, I can get
cook-
that done.
yeah.
What?
That's
Ooh, a
enough.
rarity?
steak. Actually, I'll change
Um,
my order to a steak. I like that.
All right.
No, that's mostly just seared.
Seared. All right. And your rarity for you?
I'll just have what he's gonna have. That sounds pretty good.
Fine. Okay, she goes back. The drinks come out quickly. The steak eventually comes out. You have Orestes in front of you, which I assume Sarah digs into quite quickly. Is
Yeah.
a incredibly bloody, basically just raw piece of meat
Yeah.
that has
Oh, it's
basically just
raw.
been heated
Yeah.
up. Yeah, he asked for seared.
Literally, just the outside edges are cooked. It's like as rare as it can get.
Oh, this is not what I expected. I don't know why this isn't what I expected. Can I get it well done instead? I'm sorry. I'll pay you
That's fair.
extra if you need to. If you need me
Fine.
to.
And she takes it, and
Thank
you
you.
like you see her like walk back there, and you actually like see through the door as she like basically like just turns the plate over and like slaps it on whatever grill it is. Back there, and she's like, "Oh, what a night!" And she just kind of starts working on it back there.
What kind of sandwich do I get?
It's honestly not bad. The bread a little bit stale, not bad stale, but it's like she probably gets it every day, and this is just the end of the day, so it's kind of left out, so it's a little bit harder.
That's my
The inside, it's good. Yeah, it's a pretty good sandwich. It's got kind of like a salami of some sort and some cheese and a couple vegetables in there. It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah,
Nice.
acceptable.
Okay.
I am a sandwich connoisseur now.
Nice. Sandwich connoisseur. Nice.
Orestes has died again. Orestes
there he
returns.
is. He's
dying.
It kicks me out again for some odd reason. Okay. There we go.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, now we're all sorts of everywhere.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
it did fix. Okay.
Yeah, it fixes as soon as you're all back in. Okay. So eventually you do watch as coming back, Orestes, she comes back and she like sets it on the table, and you can see like did you specify a cooked amount? I don't think you did.
He
I
said,
think I
well
said
done.
well done.
Oh, well done. Okay, yeah. She sets it on the table, and like it's basically charcoal. And she sets it there, like she sets it there and says, "Enjoy, no refunds." And she just like goes back to like the bar.
How much is this, by the way? We never settled on a price, I don't think.
She like stops, and you like see her lean back. She's like, turns back around, and she just says, "This for the steak and the drink, 1 silver total."
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll give her a silver.
Okay.
What is the gold to silver
It's
exchange rate
10
again?
10 silver to 1 gold.
Okay, we're good. Thank you,
You
sir.
want some chicken nuggets? They're very good.
No, I'm good. But thank you. I think this charcoal will do me just fine.
So you actually do like cut into it.
My hunger.
So you do cut into it, and yeah, it's charcoal for like maybe half an inch. But the inside,
Oh,
hey,
great.
it's pretty good. But like the outside,
Yeah,
it's charred.
It's edible. It's edible, and so I'll eat
It's-
it.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
okay.
I'll look at my friend and I'll be like, "Yeah, this drink is a lot better than the food here, isn't it?"
Maybe, but can I have a piece of that steak? And sheep man, can I have a piece of that dino nuggy? Is that what you called it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cut him
All
off
right.
a little bit of it.
All right, and then I'm going to take him and I'm going to hold both of them for Viana to sniff. And I just want to figure out which one Viana wants more.
Okay.
The charred steak or the chicken
The
nugget.
nuggies.
Or the chicken nugget.
The burned
Nuggy.
chicken nuggies. Both burned.
So you watch as like her little nose like comes out, and she kind of like sniffs at it, and then she kind of like slowly opens her mouth and puts it around the very charred meat, and then just like drags it away and like goes back into your collar.
Right.
Yes. The
Yeah, it's old
nugget.
chicken. It's old chicken.
What shape are dino nuggies in this world?
They're not
Rabbit
dinosaur nuggies. It's
nuggies.
literally just chicken. It's chunks of chicken.
Okay. But if
Just
they're
Would it be
in the
breaded?
dino nuggies, what shape would they be?
If you were to what?
If someone were to make dino nuggies, what would they be shaped as? Do dinosaurs exist, or would they be shaped as something else?
Roll me a
Dragon
history check.
I'll cook
nuggies.
the ramen.
Dragon nuggies.
Framus
I feel like
shaped.
with my background, I would
pretty
know
sure.
what the equivalent of dino nuggies is.
Ramus would
Like,
create. I don't know.
Well,
What'd you
I
say?
think my family custom
we-
makes them for her.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. There are ancient creatures. Are most of them like dinosaurs? No. So
They're just Titan shaped, so they're like humanoid chicken
Yeah.
nuggets.
Colossus shape. Colossus nuggies.
Colossus
Yes.
nuggy.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
So
Okay.
they're gingerbread men, but actually just made in the chicken form. Oof.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
I'd probably
yeah, go ahead.
ask the Whisper what rooms she has available, if any.
Honestly, I don't have a lot available. I've got one room, one bed.
Well, dang.
There was
Grace and
only
I
one
won't be there.
One
so
room,
if
one
you'd like
bed.
to share.
I don't really sleep, so I don't need a room. Would you mind if I just played my lute in the corner?
As long as you're not bad.
No, I think I'm pretty skilled.
Yes, the
you-
room, right?
Performance.
performance. You want performance?
Performance.
The
Yes.
one.
Do it.
Get a one.
Okay, we got a decent. It's not great. It's a 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's decent for ambience music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Ray's taking
This
the
is my
vibe
off
down
day.
here. If she would allow him to sleep in the tavern room, he's totally fine with that.
She looks at you and she says, "If you pass out from drinking enough of the booze you brought from me, sure."
So I gotta keep downing booze.
Yeah, you have to keep buying alcohol
Drinking.
from her until you pass out. Then she'll say okay.
Oh boy.
I'd be willing to share a room with someone.
I might need a few gold X.
Oh, that's right. You don't have any money, cause took it all. Well, I mean, I guess I'll hand you 5 of your gold pieces back.
Oh, no.
I feel like that
Okay.
should cover the drink to
Stop
pass
getting
you out.
wounded.
Nice.
Right.
Okay. Eventually you pass out from drinking, which is great for you. Good job. Before we go over to Umberon and kind of what you were up to, we will quickly take a break here. And then we will be back. So we'll take a quick 10-minute break here and we will see you guys afterwards.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay. Hey everybody, we're back. Sorry for a little bit of a longer break. And I think that right where we left off was with Umberon going off on your own slight solo adventure. So, Umberon, if you would just make for me, unless you're asking around for directions, if you would make me a investigation check.
Okay, I'm gonna get as far as I can on my own.
Okay.
Thank you, not being poisoned. Never mind. 7.
7. Okay. You're able to find the Silvery Garden fairly easily. However, searching around the Silvery Garden, you don't know which house they would be in.
Okay, and are there people around to ask for directions?
Yeah, there are a couple. Like, there are guards and different things around.
Okay, I will approach one of them to ask for directions.
Okay. As you approach the guard, he kind of, you can see that he looks at you and recognizes your dress and everything, of just kind of what you're dressed as, and says, "Yes, may I help you, sir?"
Yes, if you would be so kind, I'm looking for the temporary residence of Leonor Farlier III, the Count of Bosham.
Oh, of course, yes. If you head down, and he points to the house at the end of the street. Basically, street is a strange term to use here, but basically at the end of this small section of the shelf, the largest of these structures is there. And he says he's currently staying with Lord Quentin Sarlia.
Is that someone I'm familiar with?
This is the head of the GeoHex Warlocks.
Oh, okay.
So you would in fact know who this is.
I will head over there.
Yeah. Okay. The residence, it sticks out from the rock by quite a ways, and it's an ornate structure. It's made by there's a lot of copper and bronze and gold that makes it all up. It's beautiful. There's glass that looks out. There's some light coming from it, though it is a little dark. You can see that there appears to be one servant or so that you can kind of see moving on the inside.
Is the door open?
No, it's just locked.
Okay.
Shut.
And you say I can see the servant is inside.
Yeah, you can see one or two that are kind of moving around. They seem to be extinguishing lamps and stuff like that.
I will knock on the door then.
Okay. You knock on the door and you see a younger looking half elf woman who is one of these servants. Kind of looks in the direction of the door. Kind of sees you. Kind of quizzically kind of glances at you, and then she seems to kind of make the connection of who you are. And then rushes to the door, and you see she pulls it open. Sorry, sir. You're Umberon, I believe?
Why, yes.
Oh, of course. Please, come on in. And she kind of steps aside and allows you in. As you do, and she kind of slowly closes the door, she just kind of turns and as she does, she says, yes, Lord Farliar, please follow me. And kind of leads you through the premise, and to, she says, are you looking for who specifically here?
My parents.
Of course. And she takes you to a specific doorway, and as she, to a specific door, and she knocks. And you hear kind of some shuffling, and then the door kind of cracks, and you see your father's face peeking through with a faint, kind of like a late in the day kind of unshaven beard, kind of peeking out, and you can see one side of his beard is kind of smushed up on the side of his face and everything like that from sleeping. And as he kind of glances out at her and he says, "Oh, Liv," and then he sees your face and then he sees you and says, "Umberon. Oh, please come in." And he opens the door and as you step inside, and he just kind of lets the servant girl close the door, and then he quickly just like wraps his arms around you in just this strong hug.
I will return the gesture.
Okay. He says, "I'm glad you're okay. Didn't know where you were, what had happened. Your mother will be pleased. Come with me." And he kind of turns and he gestures, and you can see that where you're in is kind of in the antechamber to kind of like a suite of sorts in here. And he leads you through to into the next room, and you can see that currently sitting on what appears to be kind of a harp bench is a is your mother that's sitting there, just kind of sitting in kind of almost this sitting room esque kind of area, sitting there and kind of she seems to have her crystalline left arm is there and kind of like plucking faintly at some of the strings, while you can see with the other that she's currently just kind of faintly like swirling a like glass of wine, and she's tapping one of her feet as she just kind of is looking a little bit away from you.
Before she notices me, I would like to use Pathic to project onto her the sense that I am okay.
Okay. You project this, and you watch as like she kind of stiffens for a moment, and then her head whips around, and she sees you, and she just lets the glass fall from her hand and just stands up, and just kind of rushes to you, and also just like hugs you and like buries her face in your chest, basically. And she just basically sobs.
All right, I will embrace her and say, "I'm sorry to worry you, Mother. I came to let you and Father know that I have escaped the city unharmed. I'm glad that you have as well."
And as you're here, you can kind of feel like her hand kind of on like the back of your shirt, kind of like gripping at your shirt a little bit, and she just says, "I'm so glad you're fine. So glad." And she kind of releases you and steps back, and she kind of like keeps her hands on your arms as she just kind of like looks up at you a little bit, and she just says, "Oh, I didn't know what had happened. Sit down, sit down. My manners." And she kind of steps back and she gestures to um, just kind of some of the sitting arrangements that are around of this kind of ornate room. And she kind of like looks at the wine on the ground, and she just kind of waves it, just kind of like swats her hand at it and kind of moves, and she quickly like pours another like couple glasses, and you sit around, and she kind of hands one to you and your father. And she says, "Tell me the story. What happened?" And I think we'll just kind of leave that so you're explaining that. Unless there's anything else you would like to do at that moment. Or while you're here.
No.
Okay.
As when I finish my story, I'd like to ask their side of the story, but that's it.
Okay. As you finish your story and ask for theirs, your father kind of leans back and says, "Well, it wasn't exactly the best day. We made it out of the city with the help of the city guards and some of the city breakers, and were able to cross the intervening land of the peninsula to where we are now, to Thedon. And Quentin is kind enough to allow us to stay here for now. And we are awaiting some of our funds that are elsewhere to arrive here."
Let's see.
You, in fact, would you make me an insight check, please?
Oh boy. 19.
19. Okay. You do notice that they are kind of, and just to tell the rest of you, whoever, if you're chatting in Roll20, I can hear the whole thing, like all the beeps. So maybe chat using something else, but you're good. But for as you kind of are glancing at your parents, kind of noticing them and kind of taking in, you can tell that they're especially your mother is a little bit uncomfortable. And it seems to be a little bit because of your presence, but not entirely. And you can tell that it's a almost a almost just kind of doesn't want to bring something up.
Okay. I'm gonna choose to not mention anything about that at the moment.
Okay. All right. Okay. The night passes by fairly uneventfully for all of you. Evangeline and Reyes, you return to your particular to the city, basically the camp outside of town. As you do, yeah, Ramus, go ahead.
What's the decor of the room?
That he's in?
No, that I'm in.
Oh, that you're in?
Yeah.
We're in the same room. Ramus is on the bed, I'm on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, there's bed sheets that are like kind of a bluish color. There's a small wooden table and chairs.
I do need to replenish my pillow supply, so those are getting taken.
Okay, so you shove the pillows into your bag. Okay, sure. You shove the pillows
I
in your
don't
bag.
think I can stop him, even if I tried. He's stronger than I am.
Sixer, I trusted you.
You didn't. I mean, the other two decided to stay out of the other room. In the main room. They left it up to me to keep an eye on Ramus, and Ramus has more strength than I do. Ramus has more muscle.
It's hard to see, but it's there.
All right.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you. You can continue
You're
with Evangeline.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, Evangeline and Reyes, are you just staying at the like campfire? Are you just headed there?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah,
Just to
and I'd like
be with
to
everybody.
yeah, and if we end up like falling asleep, I'd like to take watch.
Okay. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, the night goes by uneventfully for each of you. As you wake up the next morning, I think I'd like to start with Evangeline here. As
Okay.
you are waking up, your first knowledge is of that Reyes is still asleep. You can tell that everyone seems to be asleep at this point. But you can also tell immediately that there is someone. There is someone that is standing basically directly next to your bed, to where you were sleeping. As you kind of glance up, noticing, you immediately see the visage of what appears to be in fact, quite young, likely around 18-year-old, half elven girl, who is just kind of like crouched there, and just right next to you. And she, as you kind of wake up and look at her, she just puts a finger to her lips. And then she quickly kind of makes a gesture that you were familiar with. And then she just makes a gesture to follow her.
I'll get up and follow her.
Okay.
Am I not awoken by this?
Yes. You are not awoken. In fact, you would notice, Evangeline, that Trad and Rays both have what appears to be a small, like, prick, like a small little pin that is stuck in their neck.
Excuse me.
Um, and you can see that it's the symbol on it is one you are familiar with as well. As the woman just kind of nods and just kind of she kind of like makes her way through the camp. I would like you to just really quick make me a perception check.
Can you still hear me? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
my mic wasn't working for a second there. Perception?
Yes.
19.
Nice. Okay. You can tell that she moves incredibly efficiently. She's also stealthy to a point that you have not actually seen before. And you have to basically use all of your ability to focus on her to be able to follow her.
Okay.
Because of just
Can I
how
just-
much you can tell she could kind of move out of the way. Yeah. What were you
Can I
gonna say?
interrupt you for a second? We can also still hear you when you chat with Discord. Just so you know. Okay, keep going.
Okay. As you guys are just, well, yeah, as you make your way through the camp, she leads you to the very outskirts of the camp. And then she gestures where there are two stumps sitting next to each other. She gestures to one and she sits on the other.
I'll sit down.
Okay. As you do, she looks at you and says, I believe you were waiting for contact?
Yes, I was.
Very well. Okay. Well then. Shall we get some introductions out of the way?
Yes, that would be great. I'm Evangeline. You can call me Lena.
Very well. I'm Hallie. Hallie Year. And she just kind of like leans back a little bit. And you can see that the clothing she's wearing, in fact, you have Devil's Sight, don't you? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to describe her for you a little bit more. She has very, very dark brown hair, almost black. You can tell she's half elf simply from the slightly more fair than normal features and the slightly pointed ears. Her eyes are a very, and her face itself is incredibly beautiful. A very fair look, everything like that. You can see that the eyes are a little bit big, but not to a constant surprise kind of a look or anything like that. You see that as she's the clothing that she's wearing is sleek, not quite form-fitting, and she has you can see that she has pouches that are strapped to her sides so as not to like make noise. And you can also tell immediately that hanging on the inside of one of her thighs is a concealed dagger. You can see the hilt that's sitting there. She has a very unique smell that you can actually smell from here. It's the smell of old wood and paint. It's not incredibly strong. but it's enough of almost like a perfume that you can smell from where you are. She does. As she just kind of leans back, she says, "So, you've accepted our proposal, I believe."
Yes, I have.
Very well. Well then, I'll tell you that I am to be your mentor and to teach you a little bit of our particular ways. I guess would be a good way to describe it. Now, I must ask what your plans are from here.
I have specific plans to get revenge on someone who did something evil to somebody I love.
Very well. And what are your plans immediately in the morning?
This morning,
Yes?
I would say to start on that path. I'm not sure if the friends I met will allow me to do that with them, so I might have to part ways. But in the morning, as of now, I plan to learn.
Very well. Well then, must tell you that some of our contacts are deciding what to do with the former nobility of Bosham, as Bosham is no longer a city. It does not
Yes,
exist.
that was my
Therefore, you technically are the Duchess of Nothing. However, a particular friend of mine has an offer for you. A particular nobleman by the name of Cayenne Orr. If you would like to make me a history check, you are welcome to.
Yes, I shall. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Nice. Okay. Cayenne Orr is one of the members of the Council of Mendani. So one of the 9 leaders of Mendani is Cayenne Orr.
Okay.
And I believe that from what you already know, you would know that that is significant. As he glances at you, he says, well, as she glances at you, she says, he has decided that if you're willing to, he has graciously offered to give you a title as a subservient of sorts to him, not with any strings attached, but simply so you could carry around a little bit more of a title on your particular travels, although with one condition.
And what is that?
We would like you to keep an eye on some of the party you have encountered.
And what kind of eye am I keeping?
An eye that would, if need be, should a threat arise from said particular members that I will name if you would like.
Yes,
One
that would
that
be much appreciated.
an eye that with its own hands could silence said members.
And which members are?
One is currently, I believe, going by the name of Orestes. another by the
Okay.
name of Serixer, one by the name of Rays, and one by the name of Umberon. Though not much is
Okay.
known about them, I would also like you to keep an eye on the furry, fluffy one, Ramus, because not much is known about them, particularly the large one, Frey, I would not worry too much about. Though the Titan dragon is not from here.
Hmm.
So if you have any information on where it came from, that would be appreciated, as Titan dragons are not common here.
Okay. And why these people particularly? Why does he have any interest in them?
For now, let's simply say that we'd like you to keep an eye. The more you prove yourself, the more information I will give. But for now, we're still in the beginning stages of this relationship. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, of course.
If you would keep a particular eye on Rays, that would be the most appreciated.
Okay. I will do that.
In fact, here. And she watches, she pulls from one particular pouch a small vial and hands it to you. Inside, you have seen this particular poison before. It is a poison that, when ingested, the person who ingests it will die within a month. And it will appear to be natural causes of a heart attack or something of that sort. She says, I know that you are quite fond of this Rays, and if you do find something to be dangerous beyond redeemability, I would offer you this as a means to not make it particularly painful.
All right. It would take a lot for me to give this to her, and I'm sure you know that.
Oh, I do. Though what she has done would warrant our fear. So, if you would keep an eye, that would be wonderful.
I will do that.
Great. Now, as for some training I can give you immediately. I'm going to give you this, and she pulls from another kind of a satchel that she's kind of had on her that's been hanging off. She pulls a small book out, hands it to you. This is simply some homework of sorts to just read over. And as you kind of open it, it's blank. There's nothing inside. The pages are blank. But she says, and I believe that she will now need this. And she pulls out a small ring and hands it to you and says, this should make things clear. And I do believe we'll be in touch fairly soon. As for the person you're after for revenge, I can give you a slight amount of information, I believe. Though I do not know who particularly it was. I do know what you are seeking. I would seek out and make your way to the capital of Mundani, Ormouth.
Okay. Thank you very much for that information. Is there anything else you can give me?
The only thing and honestly I don't know much about this particularly, there is a young man, I believe his name is, let me find it real quick, I don't want to give you the wrong name. His name is Thedon. from what I understand. I would seek him out.
Is he in Mundani?
Oh, I believe his residence is in Ormouth. He currently resides in the beggars' quarters.
Okay, thank you. Did you need anything else from me?
Just keep an eye, and should you have anything urgent to tell me, though I will be remaining fairly close by. The ring that you have will be activated should you take it and spin it once around your finger. And at that point, it will work similar to a sending stone for 25 words.
Okay, thank you very much.
Though I will tell you, this is quite an ingenious device. When you speak, your voice will not be heard by others, and nor will my response.
Okay. Sounds reasonable for your organization.
Of course. Now, I plan to be close by, should you need anything. And I expect this to be a fairly fruitful partnership.
I hope so.
It has been good to meet you, Evangeline.
Yes, it was good to meet you too.
And I'll leave you to your day. Should you wish to wake your captain of the guard and friend Ray's, simply remove the pins. They're just inserted into his particular nerve.
Okay, I will do that.
Of course. And you see as she kind of turns, she gives you a small little salute, and she basically walks off into the night, into the morning, as the sun is beginning to come across the distant mountains.
Okay. Well, I've just been watching these giggling schoolgirls at the bottom here. It's been
We're
hard
all
not to laugh.
terrified.
I know, right? I'm a little horrified myself, but
For
it's okay.
yourself.
Okay. When it started, I sent Fiona a message that was like, Evangeline is the BBEG. And then he started like, watch every single person except for Landon. And I'm like, I called it Evil Ava.
I am the BBG. Okay, as she leaves, I'm gonna go take the pins out, but I'm expecting, are they still asleep after I do that? They're just like sleeping normally?
No, they wake up immediately.
They wake up. Okay. And then I'll just kind of like crouch next to him and be like, are you all right?
I don't know anything's happened, right?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Like, that just felt like I was waking up naturally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay, go ahead.
And
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm fine. Why?
I thought you were having a nightmare, that's all.
Did I have any nightmares?
I don't think so.
And is that unusual?
I don't. Not really. You have nightmares once a week or so.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna kind of just like pat her on the knee and be like, I'm glad you're all right. Slept well. And then I'm gonna go and practice shooting. Shooting practice.
Okay. Sounds good. Several of your kind of the poorer people who know you kind of come out and watch as you're kind of doing this. And in fact, like several of them like will cheer when you hit like particular cans or things like that, and like they'll put stuff out, like just like old garbage for you to shoot. Like a bunch of little kids and stuff are just like super excited about it. Like
Yeah,
despite
the
your
whole time.
terrifying, despite your
She loves
terrifying visage, like your people know you and they like you.
Yeah, she really loves them too. She like talks to them all and yeah.
Also,
She's going to kill them slowly over the course of a month.
I just miss and hit a child.
oh boy.
No.
So if
Nothing.
Evangeline and Raze, if you would make me quick perception checks, that would be great.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, that's a 4.
That's a 10 for me.
Okay. With the 4, you don't see anything. However, as you're finishing your target practice and going to kind of meet up with the rest of the party that you have kind of encountered at this point, you do just kind of check in your pockets, and Evangeline, you do notice that in your right pocket, there are new nobility papers that name you a baroness under the House of Orr.
Okay, cool.
So you have gone up 1 rank in nobility, by the way.
Okay. And how do you spell that last name?
Ore.
Yeah, just like
Like-
horror.
Yeah, just like Orr.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Moving to Umberon. As you wake up, you kind of, I assume, kind of slept on the couch, basically, or something there. Whatever they had available. As you wake up, you do notice that your mother is already awake, which isn't particularly unusual, but you can notice like the tiredness under her eyes, like bags under her eyes, everything like that. But as you get up, she smiles at you, and she kind of like, you can see that kind of in her night dress, just kind of like rolls her shoulders and kind of cracks her neck a little bit. She glances at you and says, I should tell you before you head out on your day. I should tell you that hard to kind of put this on you so quickly, but Miss Warburor is in town. And she, I believe, is staying in the Sunwall as of right now. I do not know if she knows you're here. She knows that we are. But just so you know, Warburor is here. Just her. I don't believe any of the rest of her family are.
Can I insight to see if this was what was on her mind last night?
Sure.
Do I have a negative insight? I think that's a 12. No, it is a 13.
Okay. You're fairly certain that this is what she was worried about last night.
Okay.
Of just kind of mentioning. But you can also tell that, like, you don't think it's what she was worried about with it, but with that insight, you can tell that she is worried about something else. Like, and it seems to be something going on with her. Not like she's ill, but just something in her life seems to have her worried.
Okay. Well, then I certainly will have to make an effort to visit Lady Warbearer. Thank you for granting me this information.
Of course. So, what do you have going today?
Well, I think I shall prioritize retrieving Ramus and making sure he hasn't caused too much of a ruxus in my absence.
That could be good. He does seem to get into more trouble than he should.
Yes, well, we'll work on that slowly but surely.
Yep. Although I don't know if he will ever fully grow up.
Perhaps not. Some people don't.
Guess that's true. I never did.
But what of you
she's-
and you and father?
Oh, well, he's younger than I am.
I mean,
Still
do you have
child of
plans
ours.
for the day?
Oh. Plans, schmans. Oh, I do know that I have a meeting with Quentin later to decide what my next assignment will be, but other than that, I believe that our day is fairly empty. Your father does need to figure out something with, I believe he's meeting with one of the investigator paladins later today that is here in Thedon. But I do not know the extent of that particular meeting.
Well, if I may be of assistance to either of you, let me know.
Of course. I will do so. Let's see. There was something that I think is slipping my mind. What was it? Oh, I was going to tell you if you. I do know a little bit of what Miss Warburor is up to today. I would not visit her around, say around lunchtime today. I do know that she is here in Thedon on business, and I believe that that is when that particular business is happening.
Hmm.
So visiting her
Perhaps
at that
I shall
point.
have to wait till dinner.
Yes. So we will see what happens, but wish you the best of luck, and especially with Ramus, I wish you the very best of luck. I love that sheep, but it is truly like having a toddler again. Okay.
I was tempted to say at least this one can't teleport, but that would be incorrect.
Yes, that would be. All right. Okay. I will allow you to continue with your day, and oh boy, she says, she kind of like looks in the mirror and sees like the bags under her eyes. She kind of touches it and she says, I'm going to really need to apply quite a bit of makeup today, and I hate makeup. As she kind of walks over to kind of a cabinet and yanks it open, you can see like there's like literally just one thing of makeup in there. And she just looks at it and she says, my dearest, most hated enemy. As she just like reaches in as you're kind of exiting the room. At this point, you are all free to do whatever you would like. The city of Thedon is yours.
I want to go to Girk's.
Girks. Before you visit the Harpy Hideaway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Harpy Hideaway.
Yeah, that's fair. Harpy Hideaway first, and then Girk's.
Okay. All right.
So did
Go
I
ahead.
literally erase Bosham?
Did you?
Yes, with the explosion that I caused.
Yes.
The answer to that question would be yes. Did you kill anybody? That answer is unknown.
That's even better. Why did you say that?
Don't worry about it.
The 29
Wow.
missing people.
They made a mistake. They made a mistake not putting Frey on that list. One day they'll wake up and the whole world will be covered in pine needles.
Yikes, dude.
Everyone's drink will have one singular pine needle at least.
He's called the Pine Needle Bandit.
Yes.
Yep.
Not to be confused with the Wet or Sticky Bandits.
We're the wet bandits.
Oh.
Okay.
So we're the Harpies, I guess.
Okay, and are you guys waiting for Evangeline and Umberon and Raze to meet up with you, or are you just headed there?
I'd say I'd just head there.
Would I be smart enough to
I
know?
don't know you guys that well, honestly. The only person I know somewhat well would be Frey, and then by by
Proxy.
accompaniment, proxy, Serxer.
Yeah.
Those are the only two I'd actually know.
Okay.
I'll wait for Umbron.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because we're friends.
Umberon had a fairly early start, so you would probably arrive fairly early, and so would Evangeline and Rays if you left shortly after doing your shooting practice.
Your encounter with the half elf.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody calm down. That was a
She would
perfectly normal, innocent encounter.
I feel like she'd very quickly want to get to us so that she could keep an eye on us.
You don't really know my character, so you don't know.
Okay.
Be given one job.
So you guys are headed to the Harpy's Hideaway, I believe?
Yeah.
Had
Okay.
one job. One job.
One job. Okay. So leaving the tavern, it is actually basically right next door. The Harpy's Hideaway is a very... how best to put it? It's not ramshackle by any means, but there is like a sense of that it doesn't get a lot of business, or that whoever owns it, which you know the owner, doesn't particularly care what it looks like. The paint is kind of flaking off, but you can see that it has a decent amount of business for an alchemist shop. There are what appear to be 5 or 6 customers inside right now, and there are 2 that seem to be waiting outside for an order. And you do see as a young boy, probably around 10 or so, human to be from the looks of him, kind of darker skin and everything, runs outside with a small package and says, "Here you are, sir," and hands it to what appears to be a metalier man that's standing there and who accepts the package and says, "Thank you. Very kind of you." And he gives the little boy a smile, and the boy just kind of like smiles back, this whole like little kid, just excitement, and then runs back in. Yeah, that's what you see as you approach.
Cool. I'd like to step in, and I'd be like, is the owner here? Perhaps, or about, not necessarily here, but about.
As you do, you just kind of, are you saying this to anyone in particular, or just kind of speaking into the shop?
Speaking into the shop.
Okay, yeah. Say this. You do hear from in the back. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. And you see like Tanner's face like peek around from the side, and she says, "Oh, it's you." And then it kind of like just goes back to what she was doing. And you see that behind the counter of this place is another probably around 10-year-old, and this appears to be like a little half orc girl that has some dragon scales that are kind of covering one side of her face, and she just says, I can help you. Yeah, I can help you."
I'm just handing this off to to her, and I'll bring up the picnic basket. I'll be like, it's a present, I believe, or something from a friend.
Oh, okay. And she kind of like, you see the little girl like look down and see the symbol, and she looks up at you, and you can see like the little girl, especially for someone so young, just like her eyes like pierce you basically. And you in fact like you actually see like, you can read runes, correct?
Yes.
You see that in one of her eyes, over like the iris, a small rune appears. I'd like you to make a perception check to see if you can read it.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm not rolling too great today. That is a 13.
Okay. Honestly, because it's so small, I don't think you'd be able to read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do definitely notice there's a rune there, over her like right eye.
I'll look at her and I'll just be like, interesting. I'll be like, is there a reason that you are piercing me? Would you like to hear a song, perhaps?
Sure. Yeah, a song would be good. She says, "Give me one moment," and
Really creepy.
she kind of jumps off and takes the picnic basket to the back, and you can hear Tanra like thanking her for it. And then you can see like Tanra's head peeks up. She said, "You brought this in?"
Yes, it's from a friend.
Great. And she peeks back in and just like it goes back to what she was doing. So you're just gonna play something in the shop?
Yeah.
Okay, make me a performance check.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a 8.
Okay. So you're going like it sounds nice. And then like as you're going at one point, one of your strings it doesn't break, but you hear it like fray as you're going, and it makes a kind of a noise, and you're like,
I need to tune it. Apparently, I'm gonna start tuning my instrument. I'll be like, "Sorry, I'll get back to playing in a second."
Okay. All right.
Can I attempt to walk into the back?
Sure, yeah. So you go to like walk behind the counter, and the little girl like says, as you just kind of like walk back, and you like step back in the back, and Tanner just like looks over at you, and you can see this full, like you wave, and she just kind of, hi, and you see she goes back, and she's like using like a mortar and pestle, and you can see that like, as you get back here, you notice that in the front of the shop, it actually smells pretty nice, like flowers and things like that. As soon as you pass through the doorway, the smell changes from flowers to like just a cacophony of smells of all of these different things. You in fact see like what appears to be like straight up like an eyeball about this big that's just on the table that she's working on. And she looks back and she just kind of like glances back and says, "If you don't like the smell, get out." As she just continues like just mashing stuff with the pestle.
I mean, it's all right. What you making?
Oh, this would be a tonic for someone who asked for it.
Oh, okay. What's wrong with them?
Oh my gosh.
This particular individual, I don't know if. How recently have you eaten?
I mean, I had one of my apples this morning.
Okay. And how nauseous do you get?
If it's going to make me throw up, I probably don't want to hear it.
Okay, then I won't tell you. As she continues just working on this.
So, Imithar told me that you study magic.
Yes, I do indeed. Really quick, TC, did you have something?
How much was the room cost?
Oh, the room, it was, we'll say 4 copper.
Okay.
Mm.
I paid for the room.
Awesome.
I did it.
What were you going to say, Vienna?
I was wondering if I happened to notice a little prick in my neck at all.
No. It's like, it's such a fine needle that it just leaves no mark, leaves no blood.
Like acupuncture
Okay.
needles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And by the way, Ryan, you can add those into your inventory.
Ooh, okay, thanks.
You
Sleepy
did
needles.
multiple times.
She's just gonna make sure that we all sleep forever.
Okay. Tyrion, go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, Imithar told me you study magic. He said, hydro arcane stuff.
That would be correct. And she kind of puts her hand up, and you watch as like a small fountain of like water comes out of it, but it like disappears before it would like drip off of her hand.
Whoa, that's really cool. I've read a little bit about hydromancy. I've never been able to like figure out exactly how it works. So I was wondering if you ever wanted to like teach me some.
I'm very busy. Teach you some.
Mm-hmm.
And do I get anything in return for teaching you any of this, or are you just simply asking me to give it to you out of the kindness of my heart?
I mean, out of the kindness of your heart would be preferable, but like, I have a lot of things.
Name 5 of those things that would be of actual worth to
Okay.
I'm just imagining Ramus pulls out like a jar of pine needles.
you. He saw
I
Frey collecting them and was like, I guess I should too.
I have this silver violin. I hear a lot of people use a lot of like gold and silver stuff, and so I grabbed this. I have this wind chime. It makes a really cool noise when wind blows on it. I have this big old painting of my friend's family. It's from Umberon's house.
Do I recognize all 3 of these items?
Did you follow
you
her
in-
back there?
Oh, is she still behind the counter?
Oh yeah, she's in the back of the building.
Oh, probably not, because I have common sense and manners.
Yeah, you can hear voices, but they're kind of muffled.
Quick, Ramus, it's your only chance to steal stuff while Umberon's not watching.
True.
I need to get back there.
I'm just looking around my room trying to think of things. I have a really fancy hat I grabbed from one of the people who was visiting Umberon's home, and I have a fork.
Great. And you can see like she just like she's like smashing, like you can see that like she started like smashing whatever in the pestle, like, and her hand is like a white knuckle, just like as she's like grinding whatever's in the pestle, and she just like as she kind of like looks over at you and she sees all that stuff and she says,
And you can look at my notebook. You can look at like all the spells I have if you don't know any of them. Like maybe we could teach each other magic. Do you know much gate weaving?
I do not, although that could be of use. For the wind chime, the violin, and a look at your notes, I'll teach you 2 spells.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course. She says, please set the violin and the wind chimes there. And she points to you actually see that there's a small box full of like children's toys in the corner.
Oh, that's nice. I'll set those in there. You sure you don't want the painting? It's really well painted.
Sure, I'll take it.
He's trying
At
to get
least
rid of it
they'll-
before Umberon finds it.
And she kind of like mumbles, and you kind of hear like the only thing of it you hear is like at least the children will have another canvas to ruin. As she's just kind of like still like continuing to work on whatever's here.
All right. So when are like how do I learn?
So, come here tonight, right after closing. I'll teach you something, okay?
All right, when do you close?
Oh,
We're
just go
fine.
ask Vet in the front, and she just like turns and she kind of like just herds you out the door. And she just like as you exit, she just like pushes you out. And you're like still holding this hat in your hands and the fork. And she just kind of pushes you out and she says, Vet, darling, Please, would you kindly take care of this individual? And she just like goes back, and you can see that you can see like there's kind of a red-haired boy with kind of like a really curly red hair up top, and some like just freckles almost like covering almost his entire face. And he's also like right around 10, and he kind of like looks over, he sees you, and he just kind of like jumps down and like salutes her, like really smartly, and then just like walks over, and he like you watch as like he actually like pulls out like a small like poker, like a fork, like, but it's like you can see it's been sharpened. And he just kind of looks at you and he says, "Okay, what do you need?"
I basically got what I needed. What time does this place close?
And he kind of like looks at Tanra, and Tanra's like, as she's like turning in, she like looks out, and you can see like this full grin on her face at just the little kid with the sharpened fork, like looking at you. And she nods like that it's okay, and he like looks up and he says, "We close at 9." And he just kind of like still like looking at you like with this fork. He then just asks, "Can I touch your fur?"
Oh, sure. Do you want this hat? It's really cool.
Sure. And he like takes it and puts it on. It just goes right over his whole head. And then he just kind of like reaches forward and just like pats your leg, and then he just like puts the head up. He's like, "You're all right, goat thing." And then he like goes and he like sits back in his spot, like not back in his guy's spot. He like sits right next to the door, like right at the edge of the counter. Like he makes sure you go to the other side of the counter, and he like sits there with his fork, just looking at you to make sure you don't cross the border again.
All right. I'm gonna walk back to Umbron, just like, Umbron, I'm gonna learn some spells.
Huzzah!
Umbron.
It didn't cost me very much. Just a violin and a painting and a wind chime.
Interesting. I'm missing all three of those things. What are the odds?
Hey, X, do you know what's good for a growing dragon?
Give me a second. Okay. Yes. What would be good for a growing dragon, Dungeon Master?
Okay. All right. So, you are able to, knowing from your particular knowledge, in fact, actually,
I was gonna say, would I know what's good for a growing Titan dragon?
Yeah, I was gonna say because they're a different species. What you had was a mix of just high nutrient stuff. Could be anything, just as long as it was high in whatever nutrients you could need. But you don't know exactly what a Titan dragon would need.
Not that I know this is a Titan dragon, but
Yes.
Can I ask Viana directly? Does Viana know?
You get like a faint, like just back from you. That's basically all you get.
food.
Being a parent is tough.
Yeah, there's
Tell
three
me
of them
about it.
in this party.
There are? Who else is a child?
Well, have you been paying attention to the sheep man and his going-ons?
I mean, he knows how to at least feed himself. I hope. I don't know for sure.
Well,
Casey, were you going to say something to me?
Oh yes, it was. As you are just kind of there, and like Ramus has said these things, and you're kind of thinking, "Oh wait, I do have those." You look over and you see like Tanner's leaning around the corner, holding up the giant painting, And he's just like,
Of you?
yeah.
I'm gonna sigh and then nod my head.
And she just kind of like walks out. She's like eyeing Ramus, like almost like tiptoeing to make sure Ramus doesn't see her, and then hands you the painting.
Awesome. Wait, how large is this painting?
It's full. It's a life-size painting.
It's life-sized?
Yeah.
It's a big painting.
Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna get this back to my parents.
Without Ramus seeing.
I don't know. My perception is bad.
That's true. I'll pull out my coin perch and empathic be like, "Do you want compensation for this?"
She just looks at you, and just basically, just like you can see like the purest frustration and annoyance, and she just like points at Ramus and just like, and then she goes back in the back.
Take Ramus and leave.
That is
Alright.
the compensation.
Okay, I will go up to Ramus and say, "Would you look at that? She happened to be selling a painting that looks almost exactly like my family. Will you help me deliver it back to them?"
Sure. Where are they?
The Silver, was it Silver Grove?
Silver Garden.
Silver Garden.
Mm.
Good.
The Silver Garden district over yonder.
All right, I can do that.
Can't remember names of people, but he can remember the names of places.
I've been to
Are you
Aurora.
coming with, or do you need to do some shopping here?
I'll come with.
Okay.
Okay.
Casey,
Yeah.
can I go shopping here for that ingredient for that sleeping draft
Yeah.
Imadar
Excuse
gave
me?
me?
Yeah. As you do, she, the little girl says, "Oh, yeah, yeah, give me a moment." And she kind of runs to the back, and then she comes back out. And she has she has like a jar, that kind of has this in it, and she says, "How much do you want?"
How much is just a little bit of it?
Just a little bit. She kind of takes out like a measuring kind of spoon and kind of puts some in it, and she says, "This much?"
Is that like enough for one use, or like how many uses?
What she's kind of done is like probably like 4 uses.
Yes. How much is that?
It's and she kind of like looks over, at the dark skinned boy who's kind of running around, and he leans back in and he says 1 gold, and then ducks back out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. Okay, and she kind of like grabs a little jar and kind of puts it in. Its jar is like perfectly sized to fit this, and she kind of puts on the cap and like squeezes it in. She says, "Here you go." She kind of holds it
so
up.
much.
Of course. Anything else that any of you need?
A sandwich.
I'm good.
Yes, Kieran?
Well, no, I'm just looking something up, and
Oh, okay.
I was just like, making a motion to correlate with that. Apparently, object permanence is one of the first stages of development for a child between birth and age 2.
Nice.
And I have none of it.
Permanence.
Okay.
I'm not looking that up for any particular reason.
Yeah, of course. What would you guys like to do at this point?
I would like to go find a blacksmith.
Okay. Roll me a history check.
Oh You know how good I am at those.
Or investigation. Either of your choice.
Wait, did you
It's the
mention
same
this?
modifier. That's a 5.
Okay.
Can I help him?
There is a blacksmith shop here, you are sure. Where it is, you have no idea.
It could be
All right.
anywhere.
Ray's wants to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Bianna.
Yes. I am desperately also looking for a blacksmith, so can I go with him?
Sure.
I'm going as
yeah.
well to pay for it.
Oh, I guess I have to follow as well because I have all of Frey's money.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for anything. Watch
So can we
this. I
all
want to
look?
pick up every single weapon and rub my hands all over it.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Please
Okay,
don't.
say it that
Please
weird.
don't.
Frey is
picking up
now also on the watch list.
Okay, we have the creepy, insane alcoholic. That's the word. And then we have Ramus, the troublemaker, the sticky-fingered troublemaker. Now we just need nicknames for the rest of us. Oh, I guess Evangeline's
Wait.
the sneaky, underheaded evil guy.
Well, you
heck
guys
am I an
don't know that
alcoholic?
yet, so.
How am I
Okay.
an alcoholic?
You drank
I'm
yourself to
confused.
sleep last night.
Because she told me I had to.
You
So I
could.
rolled.
Not
That
your
was
room.
you have to subtract 2 gold and 1. No. How much for a drink was it?
Per drink.
Yeah.
It was a silver.
All right. You need to subtract 2 gold and 1 silver because I rolled a constitution check and it took me 21 bottles to fall asleep.
Oh my gosh.
I gave you 5 gold.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
So you,
I
you
have
do have
2
have
gold
like
and 9 silver.
yeah, you have some gold on you.
Do we need to roll to find the blacksmith place, or do we find it because there are like 4 of us looking?
Because there are so many of you looking, you do find it. It's called the Copper Horseshoe.
The copper horseshoe.
As you
Makes
kind of
sense.
are there, it's interesting because it's not open to like the outside. Like you don't actually see smoke coming out of it. But you do. It is a blacksmith shop, and you see that there are some people standing outside and kind of waiting. As you kind of enter, you can see that there are several forges. There appear to be 4 or so that are aligned kind of in a square shape next to each other. And there is a up at the top there appears to be like a funnel that the smoke goes up into and seems to disappear. It doesn't seem to go anywhere. And you can see that there are current works in progress of different things going on in each of the different each of the different forges, and you can see that there is a spear mill woman with blue like pixie cut hair that and her kind of for as a spear mill she has a almost greenish skin, kind of palish green, and her where legs would be she floats, and you can see that there are small like almost like tendrils that come off like almost like ribbons that are seeming to keep her aloft almost like a jellyfish, but she floats
I
up
would
to
like
the side.
to go straight up here.
Okay. She is currently in the process of rapidly moving between the 4 different forges. And she says, "Yeah, what do you need?"
Placing my great axe right on the table. Can you put a chain on the end of this?
Yes. Chain. How long do you want the chain to be?
The 30 feet.
30 feet.
That's a lot
Okay.
of change.
4 gold.
Sweet.
I've
Come
got
back. Leave your axe and come back
I can
at
get
come back later tonight. I should have it done by then.
Thank you very
I have a
much.
problem. with my longbow, and I'm going to pull out my longbow, and I'm going to point it away from people and pull back on the longbow. It snaps.
Wait,
You
what?
think you can make me a bow that doesn't snap?
So, what I'm seeing here is you walked in, said you had a problem with your bow, broke your bow, and now you're asking me for a new one?
Can I get one that's like stronger?
Are you going to break it?
I hope not.
Good. If you do, I will hunt you down and kill you. Now that we have that out of the way,
All right.
you need a full metal bow, I assume. Let's go with 10 gold.
X, help
And I'll
me out here,
enchant it.
buddy.
10 gold, and I'll put it in an enchantment.
I hand over 10 gold.
Okay.
Yay.
She takes the gold, looks at you, Sarixer, and just kind of like gives you like the knowing look of someone who has to pay for their friends too. And just like pockets
My
the
money.
and like pockets the gold and just like gets back to work.
She doesn't know that.
Gracious.
Can I also ask her, do you have some kind of belt that could go around your leg that could hold daggers?
Honestly, I don't hold things in stock here. If you're looking for something more, something that's already made, I would honestly try the Debonair Dagger. If you're looking for something pre-made, if you want me to make it, I could.
That's all right. I'll go check there, but if I don't, I will.
Of course, yeah. Check the Debonair Dagger, and I would also check Horseflesh as well.
Okay, thank you very much. I would
We
like
need
to
to go
go
to
to one
Gert's.
of those.
Okay, so are you going to the Debonair Dagger or Horseflesh?
Is that
We're
Gert's
gonna go
place?
to the Dagrid one first, but the horseflesh one, that one's really interesting. So we're gonna have to go there anyway, even if they have it in the first one.
Okay. All right. So, as you eventually find the Debonair Dagger, is there anything else that you guys want to do with the blacksmith real quick? Or is that it?
Does she have some kind of weapon I could take just until mine is done?
She kind of like eyes you and then says, she reaches back and like pulls out like a maul and just like slams it on the table. You can see that it's like as soon as you pick it up, it's not well balanced, but you can tell that it would hurt to get hit by it.
Okay.
And she says, if you break it, I will end you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank
Serious
you.
about her work. Don't damage her work.
I will not damage her
And if
work.
you do, don't ever return.
I am keeping this far away from Ramus.
Perfect. Okay. The Debonair Dagrid is, from the outside, you can tell is a very flamboyantly dressed place. And when I say dressed, I literally do mean it's dressed. There is
Like, has
cloth.
clothes?
There is cloth that has been used on the outside to like give it a look, and you kind of like notice this, and you notice like several people kind of like standing back and like looking at it, and you kind of like step back and look at it too. The building is in the shape of like a adventurer with like sword on back, like walking. That's like the whole building is that shape.
I love it. Okay, we're going in.
Okay. As you walk in, you can see that there is immediately there is a thick smell of like just honestly, it's just like sweat and potion and blood. Like, yep, basically what it smells like.
Love that. Okay. Is there like an owner that I can see, or like somebody running the shop?
Someone running the shop. Yes. You can see that sitting across the way appears to be a dagger man. A dagger man who is looks to be right around 12 years of age, if they weren't a daggered, and is currently in the process of helping another customer. And with the other hand, they are holding like a box that it's more a rack that seems to be full of like shields, like metal shields. They're like holding it up with the other hand as if like it weighs nothing, and they're just like talking to this other customer as you enter.
Okay, I'll like just
If
wait
anyone
until he's
treats
done
him like
talking.
a child.
I know.
What'd you
I
say?
would hate that too.
If anyone treats them like a child, I'm gonna be mad.
She's gonna berate them all.
Over somebody's
No.
face. But yeah, I'll just wait until he's done talking to those other guys.
Okay. You wait until he's done. He eventually does finish with this customer, turns to you and says, "Yeah, you need something?"
Yes, I was hoping that you had some kind of belt that could hold daggers that could go around my thigh.
One of those kinds of people. Yeah, sure. And he kind of like turns around and he goes, like he walks over to a specific wall, and you can see that from the outside, when you're inside, it is definitely the exact shape of a guy. He like literally goes down into what would be one of the legs of this guy, like looking for something down there. Like, yeah, it's a whole issue. And he eventually comes back up and he's like, "Here, does this work?" And he holds up. It's like a leather strap that would likely go fit fairly well there. And attached to it, he's kind of just run a dagger sheath through it.
Okay. And how many can it hold?
It can currently only hold one. He only attached one sheath to it.
And how many sheaths could you put on this?
He kind of looks at you and says, What kind of daggers are you looking for?"
Throwing.
Throwing. Thin blade? Long thin blades?
Yes.
Okay. And you see he kind of goes and he comes back up with there are 7 of these like long thin. They get almost to like needle, like they're just incredibly thin daggers. And he sets them. He kind of like lays them out on the table for you. And he says, "You're welcome to inspect them." And he begins attaching the like sheaths to them to the leather strap.
Okay. All right.
What's with
Can
you
I...
and needles?
Hey, I wasn't the first thing to the needles. It was the other lady. Let's see. These are not to be used on any of you unless you do weird things. Okay, it's fine.
Kill them. Kill them. Kill them.
This is the exact thing that's going to be used to administer the poison to Raise.
No, it's ingested. It's not stabbed. Come on. Just
I
kidding.
mean,
I'm not
if
gonna do
Stab
that.
it into your
okay.
stomach, it's ingested.
Brian,
No,
she
you did
said
not kill
if
me.
ingested,
You're not
it will
gonna
take
kill
a
Raze.
month to kill her, to kill
Mhm.
someone. But if you put it directly into somebody's heart, it'd kill them much quicker.
Because it's a needle to the heart.
I mean,
Okay, can I inspect them? Are they like good quality? Like I could throw
Yeah.
them and they'd... Yes.
Yeah, so they almost seem like the top of a rapier. like the very end of a rapier is kind of seems to be what is there. It's a similar design to that. And as you kind of like are inspecting them, kind of like bending it a little bit, yeah, they're good quality. They're not meant to be ornate or anything like that. Like there's nothing fancy about them, but they're good quality, well balanced. They're good. They're definitely good daggers.
Okay. And I probably should ask this of the blacksmith, but can I put my 2 pistols on the counter and just ask him, and I'm not sure if you do this here or if I should go back to the blacksmith, but could you invert the handles of these to have knives pop out of them?
Scared of her.
I could
should be.
figure something out, but I'd say, yeah, I would honestly ask the I would I would ask the blacksmith. I think she would be a little bit better at this than I would be, but I could try if you want me to.
No, that's all right. I can go back to the blacksmith, but how much is this dagger belt?
The belt itself, I can give you for a silver. The daggers themselves, each is 2 gold.
Ooh, that's a lot of gold. How many daggers is on there?
He can fit 7.
7. So how many gold is that?
14.
14. I could afford that. Okay. Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. So
And
you now have the dagger belt.
cool. She wants to like when they get outside to like because she has like a wrap skirt on over her trousers. So she's gonna like throw it aside and like put her leg up and then just like tie it around her trousers on her thigh.
Okay. Will do. Okay.
She's in the middle of the street. She's just ripping clothing off. Yeah.
Not ripping it. Come on.
The way you said it, I just tear it off and tie this
Love
belt
that.
around my leg.
Okay, and then I would go back to the blacksmith, obviously, but
Okay. Yeah. To make the modifications, she asks you how well you want it to be done, like any special designs, anything like that, or just function.
function is best.
Also, just a quick question because I'm interested. How, like, ornate are your guns? Are they not, or are they like kind of? Tell me a little bit about
They're
them.
not that ornate, like not enough to be like super eye-catching. So it's like black metal. So it's like black gun metal. And then it has like small, like little golden like inlays in places, but not like the gun's fancy. It's just kind of like a little bit, and then it's the wooden handle.
Okay. She says, "You okay with the wood getting a little bit messed up?"
Of course.
Okay. In that case, I don't expect it being more than a gold to do both.
Okay.
And I'll get going on that. I should have this done at the same time I have your friend's chain axe thing done.
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course.
How long is my bow going to take?
I think she'd say 2 days. Because she has to fully forge it.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay. Before we end here tonight, I would like to return to Umberon and Ramus. As you arrive back at your parents, where they are, you do arrive, and as you enter, you immediately notice a standing there, basically directly inside, is talking in kind of the main antechamber. Appears to be there is a full-blooded orc that is standing there, a little bit thinner than you would expect a normal orc to be. Still some muscle, but it's more wiry than immensely built. And you can see he's wearing a nobleman's kind of outfit very similar to yours, Umbron. And he turns and he kind of turns towards you and says, "Ah, Umbron. So nice to see you again." And you would know this man as Quentin Sarlia. And he says, "Nice to see you again. It's been a while. I think the last time I saw you, you were quite short, honestly. Hadn't grown too much at that point."
Do you know this guy, Umbron?
I do, but I've already forgotten the name above game.
Quentin Sarlia.
And do I know what is this? What's his title?
So he's the leader of the Geohex Warlocks, but he goes by Quentin.
Okay, so is that what I would call him? Like, is that respectful?
Probably. Yeah, probably. He's an incredibly friendly person. He doesn't care a lot what people call him. Like, you know, several of the Geohex Warlocks, like, straight up just, like, call him curse words, and he accepts it just fine.
Well, yes, this is Quentin of the Geohexes. The pleasure is all ours.
Nice to meet you.
The pleasure is always mine, Umbron, my dear friend. And you are? And he holds out a hand towards you, Ramus.
Ramus! I grab his hand enthusiastically and just give it a big ol' shake.
Okay, you like shake it up and down twice, and then he just kind of like holds his arm still, so you just like can't move it. And he's like, "'Tis nice to meet you," and does like one shake and lets go. Just kind of this. All right. And he just says, "I was just talking with your mother, Umbron. I'll let her tell you the good news, but as of right now, it's I'd like to just tell you it's good to see you, and hopefully things are going well with your betrothal."
I would like to assume so, yes.
What?
That's good. And he stands up and does kind of like a like slightly too over enthusiastic bow. Just like kind of like teasing you a little bit, and then kind of like stands back up and says, "Well, I'll allow you to see your parents. If you head down the hallway, they should be right there to the left in the, I believe it's, I can't even remember my own house now. The drawing room, I believe."
Yes. Thank you for allowing us to reside here temporarily, and I will give an even more flourishing bow.
He just laughs. Can you what?
Can I join in on the bowing?
Yes. Yes, of course. You both bow, and he just chuckles a little bit. Just says, "Honestly, I always love someone who'll tease a little bit back. Well, have a great day, and anytime, honestly, anytime." And he kind of you watch as he kind of like leaves the room and he heads into a different one off to the side. All right. As you just kind of enter in, you can see your mother's in there. Your father is not here at this point, but your mother is inside. And you can see that she is kind of just holding. You can see that she just kind of like has her hands up, and she just kind of seems to be contemplating a lot.
Hi, Miss Farliar. It's
You
me
see
again.
you see she jumps a little bit, and then she turns and says, "Ah, Remus, nice to see you.
We brought you something.
And what did you bring me?"
Are you still carrying it, Umbron, or
Uh,
put it in my bag?
I mean, it probably would have been best put it in your bag because I'm not the strongest fella.
Fair enough. I pull out her own painting.
We managed to
looks at
procure
it.
this in the market.
She looks at it, she like meets eyes with you, Umberon, and like the full look of both of you realizing how long that has been gone. And her just being like, thank you so much, Ramus. You are truly
You're welcome.
so kind. And she just like takes it and just kind of leans it against the wall, and she just kind of like, you can see this like, she turns back like this almost exasperated like, ugh. As she kind of turns back and is like, well, it is so great. Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone loves
Umbra.
Ramus so much.
Yeah. She just turns and says, Umbron, I did, Miss Warburor, appears to, know you're in town. She left a message.
Oh.
Here, she kind of gestures, and on the side table you can see there's a note that's been opened. And reading it, it just simply says, that she is inviting you to a lunch with her the following day.
Okay.
Yeah. There you have it.
I suppose this is the good news that I've been informed you had for me.
Who said I had good news?
Why am I so bad with this guy's name?
It's Quentin.
Quentin. It's not even like a weird fantasy name.
Yeah, that's why it's hard.
Yeah.
She says, "Oh, no, this isn't the good news. I guess. I've been promoted to be one of his assistants. One of Quentin's assistants. So, I'll be traveling around working with him to. In fact, I'll be accompanying him to some of the Mendani councils coming up here soon."
Oh, congrats!
Yes, congratulations, Mother.
Ramus.
Surely you deserve the position.
Well, hopefully I can fill the shoes.
I have no doubt.
What happened to the old one?
Oh, you know, sometimes questions are best left unanswered.
Wait, what?
And she just kind of like turns away. And Umberon, you would know that the previous assistant was involved in a recent peace talk between Tannic and Mendani, and died at the peace
Ooh.
talk.
That's not so good.
Like,
You
was murdered, died, or like happened to have a heart attack during the peace talk?
so you would know that. Let me pull up my notes just to be safe. I don't tell you the wrong stuff here. So you would know that every single person at the peace talk on both sides, Mendani and Tannic, died, except for a single survivor that was the ward of one of the council members of Mendani.
But I don't know what they died from.
You would know that the basic from what you would know of what had happened would be that he had all of the deaths seem to have been by some, like, basically by some sort of weapons. Seems like the two forces just simply fought each other.
Oh. Not a very peaceful talk then.
Yep. Not exactly.
Wait, I have a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if I would know this, but like, this isn't the members, it's assistants, right? Or
So what are you asking about specifically?
Like, basically, someone I know. Was that one of the people that was there?
No, none of the actual members of the
Okay.
Mandani Council went to the peace talk. And neither did any
Okay.
incredibly high-ranking members of Tannic.
I thought you were saying like great, like basically world leaders were dead and no one had heard of it. I was like, excuse me.
No. It is mostly common news. I just don't think Ramus would know it.
Sounds about right.
Yes.
Ramus knows
Before
nothing.
Arestus leaves again, we will just we'll sign off, and because it's basically time for us to be ended here, and this is a pretty decent spot to stop. We'll stop for now, and we will see you guys this next week on Saturday. And again, this will be available on YouTube this upcoming Tuesday. So we're super excited that you guys were here. You are all awesome. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.